Stand by for more folks to be joining me on the stream today. Big day over here at Quai Network. Let me turn this down real quick. Kraken trading is now live. So let me see if I can pull it up. Pro.kraken.com, I think. I should be logged in here. Where are we at? Search. Quai. Oh, it automatically redirected me. Okay. We're looking for a market. We're looking for Quai. There it is. I already bought some. But yeah, big day, everybody. Glad to have you. We are multitasking on all fronts right now. In the background, you are hearing Joelle from the Dash team chatting with Alan and Dr. K over on X. So if you want to tune into that space. The co-host, I sent him some of the information from this year and some of the science that's been built out of it. I mean, I'm not getting anything for what I do, so I don't know. I'm retired military, and I don't get grants, and I've written several white papers, and I teach children, and I'm retired, and I've been working with computers since 1999 when I was on the Microsoft Tech Tour, and I worked for Dell Technical Support, and I worked for multiple computer stores and computer entities, and I have no benefit for me saying that quantum will work or won't work. And I have no benefits because I don't get grants and I don't get benefits and all this. I'm just doing the research behind it so I can build my own systems the way I want to do it. So, I mean, Dr. K, I mean, that's great that you don't see a future for it. And I've seen the quantum system up close, and I've seen a lot of really awesome stuff being done, and a lot of things that I can't talk about. So I can't wait to one day actually sit down and have a cup of coffee with you and discuss this quantum fields. And then I've already sent. I got a question for the information and read some information. So I mean, maybe they can expand upon it because I can't talk any further than what I've just told. What I've said before. Whoops. Is that okay, Dr. K? And may I follow you? Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'll follow you. I mean, until somebody can prove one thing or another, right? Like, I'm just flumiating based off. So, I always leave it open, but incredible claims require incredible evidence, and I would just say that I have not yet seen the quantum people provide something that would make me think they're going to successfully scale to crypto challenging logical numbers. It's a tough conversation, folks. Should we worry about quantum computing? I don't think so. Stand by one moment. We got to let the peeps know. We are live over here. Just getting fired up over here. So appreciate all y'all for tuning in. We will also be rebroadcasting over on X momentarily. So hang in there, folks. I'm getting the chat fired up here. There we go. Hello, Kishore. Glad to see you. Welcome to the stream. One of the interesting things I would be we got multiple conversations happening here. So hope you're enjoying that conversation with the Dash team. Joel is a good friend of Quai Network. He always has great conversations.
and bring some really interesting people into their spaces. Let's see if I can actually let's share this tab instead. So here's the conversation live on X right now that you're hearing in the background.
But for it to happen in practice with Shores and get to 1,200 qubits that Google is claiming, that might be 100 fridges.
Does crypto need to be quantum safe right now? Guys, we dove into this conversation yesterday. I think our opinion is um, AI is a much bigger threat right now. I'll also add this, like, it is definitely something that people should be looking at, right? It's an additional hurdle for most blockchains, um, because the quantum resistant encryption algorithms require much larger signatures to be stored on chain. And, frankly, no blockchain is solved for scaling yet until, today with Quai Network. But since they haven't solved for scaling, introducing, like materially larger signatures onto their chain introduces a whole new scope of changes that they have to make in order to support that just at the scale they currently achieve, right? Now, thankfully, here at Quad Network, we've already solved for scale. Okay, so having already solved for scale, upgrading to be quantum resistant or supporting some of these quantum resistant algorithms is immaterial work, right? It's a minor node upgrade and a wallet upgrade. Done. All the other issues with scaling have already been solved. So that being said, on top of the fact that quantum computing is long off from cracking AES 256, and we still have to see how Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to handle this. Not a huge priority over here at Quai Network right now. Again, the bigger priority is definitely AI. You very well believe a lot of the claims that Anthropic is making about what their new model Mythos can actually do. I've personally taken a number of open source smart contracts from across the crypto ecosystem and run them through Claude. And well, I'll say I haven't found any smoking guns for like actually breaking those protocols. It's clear that the inherent design is flawed at the end of the day. It's not so great in terms of gas efficiency or scalability. Um, Solidity has come a long way since a lot of these protocols have been implemented. So there's a lot of opportunity to improve a lot of the protocols out there. Just using Claude Opus 4.6 today, right? The Quai team, went ahead and used some of the premier AI models to red team our own code, and discovered like one minor issue. So testament to the team for the quality work that they put in. But I've spent weeks auditing code with Claude, and it's amazing what Claude 4. Opus 4.6 can do, let alone Mythos. So I totally believe all their claims of what Mythos is actually capable of, and the fact that they're kind of pulling an emergency handle to bring some of the biggest names in terms of internet infrastructure together, talking Microsoft, Apple, Google, um, the Linux Foundation, right? So that covers like 99.9% of the operating systems out there. Cisco, Palo Alto, Broadcom, that covers 99.9% of networking devices out there running the internet as we know it. And then a few other software manufacturers like CyberArk that do security. It's it's definitely the right approach in my opinion. But we'll check back in on the quantum conversation for now.
Right. But so I think I appreciate the work like Nick's doing and other people who are kind of bringing attention to it. I think they're creating artificial. They're trying to scare people now in order to get people moving. I'm not sure that's the best strategy because it creates this idea of like, it's not an actual threat. But I do think the Bitcoin community will get their ass together.
X Spaces on desktop just totally broken.
But that doesn't seem to be like right now.
Do you guys really think the Bitcoin community can come together and solve for this?
Did I lose you, bro? Are you there?
No. What up, guys? What do you think? You think the Bitcoin community can actually come together and like achieve consensus on the upgrade? I mean, they already have terrible throughput and speed. The overhaul would be so contentious. So contentious. It would be like probably bigger than the block size wars, in my opinion.
Because in any other system, if it gets exploited, then you roll back. That's it. But on crypto, once it's exploited, that's it. And the first people who get access to this proper system, there will be the elites or whatever, maybe some Chinese researchers, and we're basically at the mercy of them. So I think we should move forward, before it's a threat, even if it doesn't end up happening. Because once you exploit, for example, the supply.
Double D says he doesn't see institutions wanting major changes. Not just institutions, man. Like the freaking OpCat wars weren't even driven by institutions. That was all freaking grassroots.
Yeah, for sure.
Screaming and yelling on X and mailing lists.
By the way, so we kind of approach just from if quantum is going to happen at some point, the timing is the one issue as far as when do you implement it because of all the trade-offs of focusing on it too soon, etc., or too late. Now, if it's conditional, like maybe, like what happens if here's the other side of things, right? What if quantum computing is never going to be an actual threat to cryptocurrencies, or at least not for the next 20 years or plus? What happens if a project today implements post-quantum cryptography?
The stream is not working.
A scheme which, first of all
right.
adds massive data bloat.
Hopefully you guys can see that now.
At this point, it also has some vulnerabilities to non-quantum things that end up becoming a more real threat. Especially again with the Claude Mythos age of super powerful AI, but also does take away valuable dev time and resources from other things. And so sometimes someone could be too early to something, including too early if it never happens, right? And
Kishore.
First of all, how is that?
Are you here, Kishore?
Problem is that, and is there a
Dr.
way
West is calling
to address the quantum threat or alleged quantum threat? Let's just say, is there a way to address it without having massive drawbacks as a result? Anyone want to take this one? I mean, just the dev time that will be required. That alone, and the difference between a winning project and a losing project, right? Because you're focusing on building quantum resistance while everyone else is
Dr. Rich West in Tennessee. Home of the 100 trillion elephant farts. What's up? Why elephant farts? Like, what's the deal with Tennessee and elephant farts? I don't get it. Oh, wait. They're Republican farts? Is that what you mean?
Any other thoughts on that? if you think about, a lot of you guys weren't around for it, but we've had these kind of tech scares before. Y2K is the biggest one, I think, in my lifetime. Not to say this isn't different, because I do believe it is different, and I do believe that there potentially
is quantum computing on par with Y2K?
Things kind of fast all the time. And so, I don't know. Again, I convince me otherwise that
I don't know why my screen disappears.
Like this until there isn't an imminent threat.
Robbie, I have to check on something.
How are we going to convince Bitcoin Core to do this when they when there isn't an imminent threat? I mean, imminent. Like, holy shit, Google just cracked it. Google just let everybody know they cracked it. And yeah, Google controls it now. They haven't given it out to the public yet. But Google just cracked it. Like, I think it's going to take that. It's going to take, okay, Google cracked it. They let everybody know. And now Core has to do something. Like, convince me that wouldn't be the scenario. Like, how would that scenario
Y2K was a nothing burger.
Like, Core's just going to go through this major shift, this major upgrade without that imminent threat. Convince me of it.
No, I'm not going to convince you of it. I mean, like a little fight in here. I like it. But, like, in this case, like, I'm just going to surrender to exactly what you have to say because I guess I should really tell people how I really feel about Bitcoin in case there's any real doubt. I mean, since they never gave a fuck about scaling to begin with, right? And as I've said many times before,
Heard.
Raoul Paul has, spoken about, blockchains and whatever. I know Hedera's not a blockchain, okay, whatever. I mean, but those other...
Smash that emoji.
These other cryptos and other blockchains that have the ability for smart contracts are going to 10x. At this point, it's like Bitcoin, like it's been said many times by Justin Bonds, it's a dinosaur. It's going to be extinct. I don't think they give a fuck about scaling, let alone, security.
What up, Pavel?
Not only did
Vibes
I
checking.
want to agree with you, but I had to take an opportunity to shit on Bitcoiners because, after all, it's their favorite shitcoin.
That's hilarious.
I got something to add here, guys.
Go for it. Something actually smart, unlike me.
I have now reversed my position. Okay, so I was I was able to calculate the bound, and the bound is way bigger than I thought it was. So yeah, current crypto systems probably could go to 5,000 logical qubits, which basically fucks all of crypto. So shit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So you just literally did some napkin math and then did it.
Well, so you had to freaking crunch those numbers. He knew what the fuck he was doing. The thing is, if you look at my Twitter, I have actually come up with, and I know this is a phenomenal claim, but if you know anything about physics, you can go read the paper that's attached to my Twitter. I have unified QM, GM, QFT, and SM through a 1 degree of freedom system with exactly 4 axioms.
You need to spell out those acronyms, Dr. K.
General relativity, quantum mechanics, quantum field theory, and the standard model. So I basically start from one thing, and I've
what's up, Pavel?
Everything that we've ever measured in physics. So I kind of have a seer stone, and that seer stone creates closed form solutions to questions like this. And I was able to calculate the volume at which decoherence is physically limited, as well as the limit of sort of thermocoupling. And it appears that yeah, they could get to, say, 5,000 logical qubits by, well, who knows when, but given the current systems they have and the cryogenically cool things and the size that they exist, like, they could get 5,000 logical qubits. I assumed that this limit would be much, much smaller, but I didn't have a way to compute it. But now that I have, like, a seer stone, it's readily obvious to calculate.
Bullish Quai.
It's on my Twitter. I put it up on Research Hub. I'm trying to get it up on Archive. But anyway, it's fucked. That's the conclusion. Like this will happen. Looks like.
Yeah. So now, given that, do you have any kind of time frame that you think it would happen on?
Well, I mean that has presuppositions about what people actually have, and how fast they will develop them. Next couple years.
Damn.
Yeah. So, what does this mean for Quai?
Well, it means that we would have to figure out a quantum-resistant cryptography, right? Some of those do exist. I don't know if we can say that they have been rigorously tested, and the
bullish
size of the quantum signature is much worse.
All right, I gotta let somebody know.
Yeah, man, that's a real fly in the ointment here.
Uh-oh. We got a fly in the ointment.
Biometrics and the card systems that we're using nowadays, wouldn't that be past the 256 encryption that we would normally use? Well, the problem is you're looking at this range of like 5,000-ish logical qubits. So if you wanted to have any degree of protection, you probably have to say that you need to work in like a 50,000 bit field, right? But that provides you like very marginal protection based off,
All right, we gotta let the peeps know. Stand by, folks. Stand by. We're doing it live over here at Quai Network, y'all. On the edge of existence on all fields. Physics, crypto, fucking reality. Delivering you a new global monetary system backed by energy just in time for World War III and the realization of quantum computing and artificial general intelligence. What the heck? That is kind of huge news. Oh, man. Dr. West says, man, I told Kishore the other day that Quai and Kraken will be like 100 trillion elephant fart tsunami. Oh, I got it. Okay. Good work, man. Yeah, secure those bags in tandem, y'all.
As far as now that we've sort of established this could be an issue very soon, there's a couple different things. There's a few different things that
I hope you guys can hear this talk right now.
Threat actually do, and what is it a threat to?
I'm trying to
the thing that most people think about is
be as close to it as possible.
Public keys, being able to undo public keys, and then just spend people's coins. And I think that's kind of the biggest one. Now, the thing with mitigating that is as long as post-quantum signatures are created in time and funds are moved to those in time, it doesn't seem like it would be. It seems like you have as much time as you have. Another thing, though, that's hit the privacy space a lot is the idea of undoing transactional privacy retroactively. So, for example, say you have a certain kind of cryptographic scheme, or a zero-knowledge scheme that hides amounts, sender, everything like that, and it's not quantum resistant, and then you do move to a post-quantum scheme later, then past transactions are already done and recorded on the blockchain, and they can be potentially de-anonymized retroactively, even if the network has already shifted to a post-quantum setup.
Wow, I fuck, dude. This
There he goes again.
I'm like flushing right now. Like cryptography is like fucked. Holy shit.
We gotta find that quantum resistant algorithm ASAP.
No, but no, everything he's saying is also true. So everything done here. So you're gonna be able to peer into the Zcash pool. You're gonna be able to undo ring sigs.
Here's my question: Is AES 256 safe?
But I mean, AES is like symmetric. That's nothing that we use in like blockchain certificate security. Right?
Okay.
That's just to encrypt like stream documents, right?
Well, it's.
So I don't know. I don't know enough immediately off like my head on the math of AES.
Okay.
But any like non highly advanced lattice crypto or something is gonna get blown up by this. Matt, I've already talked to you about this, man. I don't know why you won't take my word, but I'll do a follow back, man.
All right. Yeah. No sweat.
Dr. K, you're not actually just realizing that quantum is a threat, are you? You're joking with us right now, right?
No, I'm completely serious. Because like I was just able to compute like what's the actual bound, and it's way the fuck bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah, this is Dr. K live.
So like I postulated that they would run into it because I thought that this bound would be smaller, but I just computed the bound and it's way bigger. So
we gotta give this guy a follow back. K Paris 51.
Logical qubits. Well, no, on an engineering basis, if we're actually talking about like if they can engineer things better with like CMOS or something, it goes even higher than that. I'm just talking about the current, cryogenically cooled, non-topological like qubits. Those can go to like the mid thousands.
Boom.
Yeah. So I guess the question.
That's wild.
Privacy. Sorry that I keep interrupting the real-time discovery.
Everybody retweet this space.
Canadian.
Yes. Sorry for slapping your wife and calling her a hoe. And if you say sorry, it sounds nice no matter what you're doing. Mark, so sorry, you entered a very interesting time in the space, Mark, but would you mind introducing yourself? Say who are you, what do you do, and what do you think quantum threat should we have to do?
Uh-oh, guys. When Kraken listen, Kraken is live. Kraken is live, guys. Here it is. Trading since about, I don't know, 10 a.m. Central Time. That's U.S. Central. So, go get it, folks.
How much you've done the research into other privacy forums exactly? I know obviously you fall deep in the Zcash world, but as far as there's a lot of random.
Holy shit, Dr. West, good work, man. 200K Quai. Yeah, that's a good start.
So first of all, what are the current actual practical quantum threats to, let's just say, Zcash's privacy?
Yeah, I would be sharing this stream. Sorry, I would be sharing this space on the computer. But if you've ever tried joining a space on a computer, you realize the audio just cuts out every 5 seconds. So apologies. We should be getting the Quai team joining this stream as soon as the space wraps up, guys. So apologies for the terrible audio.
I don't know anything about there, so I can't speak to safeness of blockchain membership groups. In terms of Zcash, from what I can see from where I'm sitting, I think the Google paper that came out recently was the latest, greatest sort of description of things, and we have a couple efforts in place that are sort of realistic about what we can expect and what we can do now, which is quantum recoverability and quantum privacy via the new tachyon pool. So you always see like quantum blank, quantum recoverable, quantum private. There's like specifying what you're actually protecting against. In Zcash's case, you'd be protecting against counterfeiting shielded notes. inflate the currency by making counterfeits. So the mitigation there is, as soon as the quantum threat is deemed real enough. So the first thing we're doing is just making that timeline variable. It could be in a year or two. As I say, I'm sort of like side-eyeing the end of the decade as a real thing. But whenever that happens, you basically just say, all right, shut off the orchard pool, and anybody that has recent notes, and there'll be a process to migrate people, can use asymmetric cryptography to recover them at a later point once tachyon ships or something like that. So that's sort of like how we're thinking about mitigating these threats. And then tachyon just does if you picture the Eddie Murphy tapping his temple.
Yep. Quai Shark in the house.
We just don't have
good work, Dr. West. Godspeed, everybody.
Quantum attack something that you can't is there.
Giving the world access
That's how we're doing that.
to the first globally scalable, decentralized energy dollar with cash-like privacy, just in time for World War III. The advent of AGI that can hack all the software, and quantum computing that can break all the crypto. So timing couldn't be more perfect in this man's opinion.
It's a bit too far for me, but I think the biggest issue, and that's what he described for privacy coins, is not just the fact that your privacy will be undone, but rather the supply inflation problem. The fact that someone could mint coins out of nowhere. I think that's a project ending thing, because you already have.
What's going on?
But the thing is that in Bitcoin, because the supply is
still cooking,
you can just like roll back, or you can tell in a simple way. But in privacy coins, either you realize before it happened, or you never realize. So that's why I think for privacy coins, we need to work on this way before it even becomes a threat. Right? Because it could happen that, okay, it's Google, the one that discovers it, and then they give us, everyone, a grace period before they make it public. Okay, cool. But then what if it's someone else who's not as kind? It's Google, and Google is not exactly kind. So I don't think we can afford to wait. In fact, Luke Parker, so the guy mostly behind blockchain membership groups on Monero, before sort of leaving the community, he's still around, but he's just focusing on his stuff more. But the last thing he wanted to make sure to everyone in the Monero community is that we should start working on quantum resistance yesterday. And it's even more important for privacy coins. So yeah, and in regards to the privacy aspect, I think the way to go forward is ephemerality. So just not putting the transaction data in the blockchain at all. So that's something we're working on. And that's the way to go forward. But the biggest issue is the supply. I think that's a little bit hardest problem to solve. And we need to start yesterday. I think, in my opinion, this is my opinion as a mayor community manager, by the way.
The one thing that's interesting from my perspective is, I think, so there's been a lot of discussion on, believe it or not, there has been a decent amount of discussion on the quantum issue regarding privacy for a very long time in the privacy coin space, well before quantum became kind of, at the doorstep. It looks like, by the way, Dr. K took off to start working on getting out those quantum crypto. He's like, oh shit, it's like I left the oven on. So he's off. He's doing that. Godspeed. But one of the early arguments in the difference in the wedding portfolio,
oh man,
probably from 2014 to 2017, Dash and Monero were the two biggest privacy coins. There was no anything else really at that point. I mean, you have Bitcoin and some other stuff that last. But so there was the Dash integrated coin join feature versus Monero's ring signatures, and Monero didn't get confidential transactions with high amounts until early 2017. Right. So there was a few years when it was just very
stand by, folks.
Arguments between things. And
making some adjustments.
One argument you heard all the time is like the post-quantum thing of like, oh well, one day quantum computing can potentially break the decoy model that Monero uses, and everything will be out there public, and then but you can't really do that with CoinJoin because there is no actual thing to break, so to speak. It's all transparent transactions, just arranged in such a way that's hard to follow. Now, obviously, that's 12 years ago or 10 years ago, depending on when. But and also there are non-quantum threats to all kinds of probabilistic privacy that have to be taken into account. But that's one thing that I think a lot of people developing privacy tech have sort of taken at least some kind of heed to, as far as what can be laid bare later, and even if you fix it in time. And I'm pretty sure, and again, a lot of this moves fast, and a lot, as we discovered with Dr. K going turn off the metaphorical oven just now, but a lot of this moves very fast, and I don't have all the technical details, but from my understanding, there was a slight delay, meaning like a little bit of a delay for Dash implementing orchard shielded transactions in order to make a hybrid with some lattice cryptography. Again, I'm not exactly sure what part lattice is being used for versus traditional, but basically what's been explained to me is that once launched, Dash shielded transactions will be semi post quantum secure, I guess, meaning that you might be able to undo amounts at a certain point in the future, but the transaction graph will not be able to be broken by quantum computing, even for past retroactive transactions. That's just what I've been told. Again, I'm just the intern, so to speak, at least from a technological standpoint. But it is kind of interesting.
All right, we're gonna try and bring some more peeps in here.
I wonder if anyone is a paranoid enough person to this is a little bit ridiculous sounding, but to take some kind of for example, a zero knowledge privacy function, and also sort of coin join shielded transactions, and spend a ton of money and a bunch of other pain in the ass stuff just to be like, all right, well, this is super overkill right now, but when the computers hit, I want them to be harder to actually trace my transactions than once they're laid bare. Although that's kind of a silly thing because of how I'm sure, especially with the more modern AI tools, it should be much easier to undo probabilistic privacy like that. But anyway, a little bit of a ramble. Who wants to go next?
Speaking about Dr. K going to turn off the oven, I guess we'll be announcing a quantum roadmap in the next few weeks here. But like I said earlier, I'm still digesting this paper and encourage other people to go read it. It has some interesting implications if it all kind of falls out of these 4 axioms. We actually have a couple professors looking at it, going to be getting it posted up on Archive. And hopefully, if this takes off here, we'll have a nice lab to go and experiment and create a bunch of applied physics works. So we'll see. But that's the dream for sure.
XM rig working for you, 10 pounds sterling? That's good to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's safe to assume that whatever private transaction you do today will.
What should I be talking to Dr. K about? Dr. West. Can I call you Rich? Rich, what should I be talking to Dr. K about? Besides quantum resistance.
This is, again, just me speaking. I'm not representing science views. But maybe the fact that Lightning, I know that word, but the fact that in Lightning your transaction just happens off chain, so it doesn't get stored anywhere, that might be the biggest advantage. even though there's other privacy driver problems about Lightning. But just the fact of keeping your transactions off chain, to me, seems like the way to go. And that is something that I remember that when your community was working on, like on L2, but not for scaling purposes, but rather just for ephemeral transactions. That is, transactions that just happen to be temporal. And not
I love how he said ephemeral.
I think that's the way to go, and that's the way I will feel.
Ephemeral.
Lightning saves Bitcoin, bro. That truly would be an amazing twist. So let's all hope that happens.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite memes from the last year or two, I have to find it somewhere, but it's something about like Bitcoin having better privacy than Monero because all my, you can't trace anything. All my transactions are on Coinbase. So it's like all,
That's a good one.
So what is it, out of band or whatever Sean Bill likes to say?
All exchanges are completely off chain. That's perfect, man.
Perfect price.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
The L2 scaling solution as well as the post-quantum privacy solution.
Yeah, it's like we already have post-quantum. It's called Coinbase, right? And so all Bitcoin trading would just take place on Coinbase from now on.
Hilarious.
Solved. Fucking God help us.
We need more centralization. Coinbase to the rescue.
Right. Centralization fixes this. That's what we need, of course. It was there all along. We just didn't recognize it.
Hilarious.
Guys, I love you guys, but I do have to go. I love you guys though. Okay, bye.
What if we use some kind of paper notes as money? I think that would be quantum resistant.
Yeah, exactly. Transfer your paper wallets or like those burner cards. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, there's a NFC plastic card hardware wallet kind of called Burner that I think Bitcoin, Ethereum,
Oh no.
there's a Xano one as well that you can kind of preload with crypto and give away as gifts. But yeah, maybe burner notes. The only thing is like if there should be some sort of I think there should be some sort of an electronic like balance checker for that, where if you have an app where you quickly just tap the card and even without a pin or whatever, it just highlights the balance of the card. And so you go beep, you just check that it actually has.
That's a lie. Coinbase wrecked after Q Day.
But yeah, in all seriousness, as far as like off-chain things,
Oh man. I mean,
there's a lot of data that does not happen on-chain.
so elliptic curve cryptography definitely at risk.
Just even like a peer-to-peer like tab.
Symmetrical cryptography though, that's AES 256. Still no confirmation on whether or not AES 256
But also the biggest
is
thing
at risk.
that I think that people are not understanding, or I don't know if people are or aren't, but privacy is a holistic picture, and I think a lot of even Bitcoin users have okay privacy just based on the virtue that no one is looking for them in particular, that they don't have other off-chain tells. Now, if you're a whale, everyone's looking at you, but if you're just like, a minnow, and I don't want to make this to sound like, oh, you don't need privacy tech. You absolutely need privacy tech. But the point is, if you're just a minnow, who is seeing these transactions and cares who it is, there's a lot of other things that other privacy lines of defense that you can have. One of the big ones, of course, is network level privacy.
All right, Rich, good to know.
MVPN. Again, every time I've shilled them like 5 times in the last couple weeks, and they don't pay us. They do accept Dash.
That's going to be a Kraken problem.
My personal podcast, they said no.
Might not be something we can get fixed right away, but
I'm actually on them right now, but it's a Mixnet VPN thing.
Okay.
Also got integrated.
Okay, that's good. I suspect
on the space page show.
with that large of a buy, you incurred some slippage. I honestly have no clue how much liquidity is up there right now.
If you don't have that first breadcrumb to go on, it's a lot harder. The thing that
Let's see if I can.
Front that's not a company or
I can
anything
figure.
like
I
that.
haven't used Kraken Pro
Is just don't KYC.
in forever.
Buy crypto from an exchange with your full legal identity. There is a trace of this legal person bought this much in crypto, even if it's all dark after there, and you sold it, you did whatever you wanted with it, or there's a legal record of you.
Okay, maybe it was still settling.
There's a paperwork record of your legal name buying this crypto, and so therefore, then your privacy becomes super important. But like if you don't KYC and you don't expose your IP address, your transactions on a blockchain,
it clearly liquidity impacts slippage when you're making large purchases like that.
This much at Monero for this, and then someone just sees, was there a Monero transaction in this time frame, and was there an IP address leakage?
Let's see here. It looks like most of the team dropped. Let's see what's happening here. We should also be working on getting the X stream up. Let me check in on that.
Not just be like, my transactions are so shielded, bro. I can just do whatever I want. I can tweet about it. I can do whatever. Good luck finding it. Maybe there's going to be an exploit in the future that makes retroactive transactions a problem. So you should probably practice very good privacy today. And a lot of that includes not being a dumbass and telling everyone about your payments. In fact, I actually thought about that yesterday because I did make a post about, hey, I swapped this to that.
I don't see it live yet. I need Dr. K to pull the trigger on the X space so we can get this out from the main account.
Neglected to mention exactly what got swapped for what, so people wouldn't be able to.
10 pounds sterling says I made a Quai matching order book DEX recently.
Relatively easy to figure out, but
support
not that easy to figure
Q0.
out. Just practice decent privacy on off-chain and a network level privacy.
I'll admit, I kind of understand what you're saying there.
Human level privacy.
Yeah, agent level privacy. And also, like, listen, this is something that some people really don't like when I mention, but also don't do criminal shit. Like, it's up to you if you want to break laws, whatever. But my point is, there's a massive risk in doing things like that, like stealing people's money or not being stolen from the government.
Yeah, don't do criminal shit.
Carry risks. And if you're doing that and you're just like, I can't trace my stuff. I don't know, man. Like, that's something where it gets you at it really can become a problem. Because if you do use privacy tech and you keep all your transactions private, your financial activities are no one else's business but your own, all that good stuff. If you slip up and some one of your payments gets doxxed, it doesn't really matter too much for the average person. If someone's like, oh, I saw this guy I saw he transferred this money to here on this chain. He slipped up with his OPSEC and I found it. Okay, well, is that going to be info?
Rich has completed the KDS program, CASPA derangement syndrome. He's better now.
So that's one of those things.
He doesn't lambast the Cash Clan anymore. Just ignores them. We always. Yeah, I'm gonna turn this down for a little bit. We always respected CASPA guys. Like, scaling proof of work is super important. So anybody who's trying to do that, like, tip of the hat to them. But if you want to replace the US dollar, you're gonna have to go a whole lot further than just that. So I mean, they're talking about privacy right now. Definitely need that. Definitely need programmability, right? If you're gonna replace the middleman, otherwise you just wind up in a custodian situation all over again. And then finally, you need that medium of exchange that maintains purchasing power long term. Otherwise, people aren't going to accept your token. They're not going to price goods and services in the token. So that's just a short list, but you need more than just scale.
Who left pictures of him at the crime scenes, and so his face was like true in like some computer software, and the police couldn't figure it out.
because the images were edited until about like 15 years later, where they finally got Photoshop, I think, and were able to undo the edit and then see his face. So it took them 15 years to undo a Photoshop effect, but eventually they did. So maybe they'll leave a photo of you at the crime scene.
I mean, it sounds good. It's just like, don't
be a criminal.
Listen, there might be Monero people listening. You shut your mouth.
Oh.
Just kidding. Most of the Monero people I know are not criminals. But yes,
the biggest issue I think is something you talked about Joel, which is governance. Like,
we got boss token holders in the chat. Man, that's an OG meme coin. I just hit up Boss the other day, by the way. He's still here. He's still around.
Especially blockchains where you can just roll back. So I think and this is coming from me as a Monero community member. Like, forget I work for Sano. Back in the 2023 Monerotopia, my first Monerotopia, I remember talking to Monero devs about consensus. And I was telling them that, hey, like, if you do this calculation, you can realize that you can attack the Monero network.
Millions of boss.
Like 51%.
Millions of boss being held right now.
Security budget is too low, so why are we doing anything about this? And the developers, and there were two of them, they agreed with me. They said that, yeah, I agree with you. We should probably go to a hybrid consensus. I agree. But we cannot do anything about it because the community won't give us the consensus. So there we go. Like a few years later, the Cubic attack hit, and only then they started to discuss with the community what to do. And the worst thing is that they didn't even get to a consensus there. They just wait for the Cubic. So yeah.
Yep. Monero is still vulnerable to another cubic attack.
Absolutely. So I believe that plus something is first of all, that's the second quickest way of developing quantum resistance is proper governance. The fastest way is to get a quantum attack that doesn't go away and like literally get wrecked, and you'll move fast. But that is a very important thing, and obviously, from my understanding, Xano is either moving to on-chain governance or has already done. Can you clarify that for me?
Yeah, so we have on-chain governance capabilities. They're not quite there, but it's starting. Yes, we have held a few votes.
Yes. So as far as that's concerned, first of all, I applaud the Zcash world and also moving kind of in that direction. It was much more of like a few entities making a lot of decisions maybe in the past, and then recently there's some things like coin holder voting and some other things to decide on features and things like that. And I think that's a massive step in the right direction. Dash has been doing on-chain governance for the last 11 years. Decred for probably something close to that, right? Very, very close.
Rich says, hey man, I'm in the top 100 Quai holders trying to earn respect. Man, if we're not having fun, then what are we doing, right? Respect, man. Respect. I've dabbled in more tokens than I can possibly count. I probably have dust in so many blockchains that is frankly just stuck there due to transaction fees and bridge fees and projects that can't even do bridging or frankly transactions. It's been a long road for sure, man. For sure. Mad respect to anybody who is continuing to grind, do the research, try to find projects like Quai Network that are trying to, build some real innovations. I almost got out of crypto entirely before I bumped into Dr. K. So I totally understand perhaps where you're coming from there.
Is something that I think there's a lot of. There's
10 pound sterling says XM rig is being used for QRL for quantum research. Interesting. I did not know. Decentralized science is an interesting space, y'all.
Advantages become disadvantages, and I think that Bitcoin has had a pretty massive advantage.
It's an interesting space.
In being old steady.
Well, you know, the thing is like crypto's been around so long that there are so many use cases that have been attempted that when a solution like Quai network shows up, and builders and researchers like begin to realize like what we've actually created over here, everybody who's kind of like poo-poo on their dreams right now will actually be able to realize them. So it could come hot and heavy. It only takes, you know, one real catalyst to get the ball moving on everything again. I mean, NFTs, right? Even meme coins, you know, I don't think anything's dead. I think everything's just like looking for the right rails.
It's something that's a big, scary theoretical threat to.
Sterling says, I'm tired of Bitcoin being used as a slush fund. It's absolutely absurd. The boomers keep ruining the market by borrowing to manipulate.
Boomer coin, and so therefore they're scared, and
yeah,
it's going to be a problem. And so that along that long list of things, it will be interesting for
yeah.
in particular because
the beautiful thing about SOAP is
the thing that makes things happen.
It makes Quai much more diffusive than traditional proof of work, including Bitcoin. So you don't have to be early on Quai.
Then they can change on a dime. But if you have governance, it's faster than.
However, if you are early,
definitely it's going to be interesting to see with Bitcoin because privacy is probably hitting after the quantum threat as far as becoming a super big problem, if not already. And so you have privacy, scaling, sustainability, quantum resistance, and security, and those are all going to be hit, and there need to be solutions, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. If we do have a slow, insufficiently moving Bitcoin that then just can't compete and falls into obsolescence, or if there's going to be a major change in the way Bitcoin works. Is there going to be someone who takes over and kind of runs it like a dictatorship a little bit? Are they going to implement better governance? Is there going to be something figured out for that? It'll be interesting to see. Matt.
Matt, I think you got your hand up. What's up, Matt?
Oh, hey guys. Yeah, I know we were kind of joking about it, but I definitely think really it's going to be receipts of Bitcoin that'll be traded in the near future. If what Dr. K is saying is true, we were joking about Coinbase kind of saving Bitcoin, but unfortunately, I think that's where it's headed.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing about receipts of Bitcoin, right? Paper Bitcoin, as I like to call it. First of all, is this bullish for MicroStrategy? Because as like the world's largest peddler of the paperist of Bitcoin, it would be funny if like everyone's quantum vaults get hacked, or everyone's Bitcoin vaults get hacked by a quantum computer, and then everyone gets wrecked except for MicroStrategy because they didn't have any to begin with. It'd be funny. All the buys would be theoretical. They just theoretically bought or made headlines. Oh, look, he bought all this. That would be funny. But also it'd be interesting to see like the mechanism by which transactions will be done. Is it going to be on a separate blockchain, meaning like a wrapped version on, for example, a confidential asset on Xano or something like that? Is it going to be like that, or is it going to be completely off-chain accounting somewhere that's just completely off any network and just gets destroyed? Is it going to be something like like Lightning, right, where you do have sort of off-chain IOUs being passed around like that. That'll be interesting.
The thing is, I mean, Coinbase still holds Bitcoin, so there's still a wallet out there that could be trained by this quantum thing. So what could happen is that it happens to Coinbase. Coinbase does those
Yeah, he's got a point.
Bitcoin they have, and then they just choose to not honor it. They say, well, I mean, this chain where this happened, it's invalid. And so we declare
Mr. Rich, all right, I got you.
Where this hack didn't happen to be the correct chain. And they work that with BlackRock and institutions, and that's it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's actually not the worst theory in the world. Is that quantum? Like, there's this event, like I just said, like Google comes out, hey, your shit's not safe anymore. We've done it, but nobody has access to it yet, and Core can't get themselves together in time to actually provide a fix. And Sailor and Wall Street Bitcoin is like, that's fine. We're going to launch our own.
Now, am I getting rugged?
Or whatever you want to have on top of it. Like the worst case scenario for what Bitcoin was supposed to be happens because new Fed Bitcoin is launched because of this imminent threat. Like that's a scenario that could actually happen. I don't know, man. It's wild to think about what might happen over the next coming years or next 6 months if you'll listen to Nick.
Yeah, I mean, if there is no proper governance on Bitcoin and someone still needs to make the decisions, then someone else will. So what's that?
Yeah, I think we've seen this story before, right? I mean, it happened with gold. When gold couldn't be tradable, you printed receipts on that gold. So, is it bullish for MicroStrategies? Yes. At that point, like, who owns all the Bitcoin, and what will they prefer?
Matt keeps putting me out with his hand up, or supposedly up.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Maybe I can fix this. It says it's down. My bad. I'm on Android. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, I was just going to chip in with just saying it's quite sad that every kind of thing that happens, these major hacks and all these kind of quantum threats and all the rest of it all comes down to fixing the governance, and actually having a decent governance system where you don't put an entity in control of it, whether that be Coinbase or whether that be some government, and that'd be clearly an advocate for coin holder governance, and I just think it's brilliant actually, where you can have a ticket and you can have a say, and you can verify blocks, to make sure everyone's acting properly, and we have all these different mechanisms where we can actually mitigate against various threats, or we can upgrade relatively quickly. I mean, going back a few years now, but we had a threat, and I know I've said this story on here before, but we had a threat.
That's a good story. Yes, please tell.
Yeah, where we had colluding miners, and we'd witnessed the on-chain data that it was passing through, because we launched this DEX, it was all on chain, and they were literally funneling funds through our own DEX to kind of attack the kind of the price realization, and they'd been doing it for a while. They had a good 7 million coins, between 3 and 7 million coins. So what we did over
Meanwhile, I am tipping people on X using Kipper money. So if you're tweeting about Quai right now, you're earning some Quai. Good work, folks.
Reduce your reward from 80% down to 10%. And that was what the first one.
Everybody's celebrating the listening. Guys, trading is alive right now. You can see it here on my Kraken Pro dashboard that I don't know how to use. I should ask Nintron how to see the liquidity here. We got 1.53 million Quai, or almost 51,000 in 24-hour volume. Some people are complaining about the fees being high.
obviously toppled off, but actually now
That's how centralized exchanges work, guys. That's how they make their money. But that's why we build these systems for decentralized options.
To get those kind of consensus upgrades through. There's no way that an entity like the miners that literally controlled a huge amount of coins flow would ever agree to do that off their own back, which is another story about the fact that they weren't actually participating in the proof of stake side of things. But yeah, without good governance, things get muddy very, very quickly.
Dr. K's got a take on that. I'm not going to repeat.
Not the unshielded Mark, I should say. Mark Hopkins, how's it going? Came at an interesting time because most of the conversation in the early parts was dominated by Dr. K, Carl Crater of the Quai network, who is very much of the quantum bear, just saying I don't see as feasible, especially not recent times, etc. And then he ran some calculations, and like halfway through the thing, he's like, "Oh shit, this is a problem. We're all gonna be fucked in like a couple of years." And then he just left the space, hopefully to research post-quantum cryptography to add to the Quai network as soon as possible. So you missed the fireworks, but would you mind just introducing yourself, saying who are you, what do you do, and then give your take on the whole quantum situation these days?
Yeah, I'm definitely a quantum bull, so I'll definitely wish I was here for that part of it. My name is Mark Hopkins. Most of the people here probably know me as the guy that went to prison for a year for selling some Bitcoin.
My cock's a flopping.
I'm a big into tech, big into AI. I've been doing
you guys are hilarious.
For like the last 25 years. I got into crypto in 2011.
You guys are hilarious.
Probably a half dozen papers on quantum resistant cryptography and quantum resistant methods of obscuring data about 10 years ago during the ICO era. So this is not a new topic for me. And one of the reports that I typically renew about every 1 to 3 years is when can we expect
Mr. Rich. They're all volunteers. Why are there no prostitutes in Tennessee?
Cryptocurrencies in general.
They're all
every year that I rewrite this
volunteers.
What's up, my friend?
Hey, welcome, Dr. K. We've been waiting for you, man. Here, let me turn down the space real quick. And
Do we want to do this from your account or the Quai account?
we can do it from. Let's do it from the Quai account.
You just need me to give you a link.
Well, no, you just need to fire up the stream in Studio, in Twitter Studio. Here, let me. Yeah, I'm just hanging out on Dash's space right now. Let me pull up a different screen here for now. But we should be live on X as soon as you start the stream in X Studio. So I think all of the stream keys are configured and rocking and rolling. It says I'm pushing, so you should see it. When you go to enable it, you should see the stream. If you don't, I might need a new key. But let me know. The chat's been absolutely hilarious today, by the way. We are up on Quai Network's YouTube channel. Coming soon to the X account.
Just started.
It's already started. All right. Well, stand by. Let me make sure we get this rebroadcasted. Did you see the stream coming through when you started it? I don't see it on my end. FYI, Dr. K, as soon as you dropped from the dash space, everybody was joking that you left like you forgot to turn the oven off to go build the quantum resistant roadmap for Quai Network. That was that was a fun conversation. Rich, you're killing me. Matt, why does Tennessee wear orange? They can perform community probation, trash pickup on Friday, go to college on Saturday, and hunt on Sunday in the same vest. It's good, man. It's good. More Tennessee jokes, please. More Tennessee jokes. All right. Still waiting for the stream on X, Dr. K. Are you seeing it on your end?
What's your URL?
Let me double check here. Edit. RTMP ca.pscp.tv port 80/X.
Let me try again here. Maybe I picked the wrong key or something.
Yeah, it should pop up. You should see the stream before you actually go live if it's working.
Oh, I know what the problem is.
Okay. No sweat. We'll get this up on X. We'll rebroadcast. We got some peeps moving over from the dash space. Okay, I'm gonna have to drop from this X space here. My ability to multitask has been capped out. Let's see here. All right, almost kinked my neck. Let's let the rest of the team know. Reply. Get that out. Rich, I am reading your jokes out loud. Maybe there's a lag.
Okay. That should be started now.
All right. Rock on. Live. I see it. Here we go, folks.
Okay. Should I guess I'm on Restream though, right? So I can just put my account on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I guess I gotta tweet it out too.
Yep. I'm getting tweets out right now, so it's easy to retweet.
Yeah.
Switch accounts here. Make sure the Quai Network account posts this. All right. Rock and roll. We'll let the community know over in Discord. All right. So,
yo,
we get
Kraken day, man. Are we cracking?
Yeah, no, it's happening. Some folks have been asking like when Kraken already in this chat. So I've been sharing the pro view So folks,
Can you give me the link to the Kraken page?
Yeah, we'll shoot that. Where do you want that signal?
Discord, please.
All right. There you are. Yeah, Kraken now, guys. Since 10 a.m. Central Time this morning, trading has been live. Just to catch you up with the chat a little bit, Dr. K. Rich, Mr. Rich, as he prefers to be called, has made a massive purchase. So has a few of the other community members, Double D, Nintron, a few other folks. So many appreciations to all of you. They are experiencing some slippage, it sounds like, and withdrawals seem to be taking longer than expected. But as Jonathan informed Gabriel on X, so kind of the nature of centralized exchanges, y'all. I'm not sure what the liquidity is at this point on Kraken. If you know how to use Pro, Dr. K, I don't know if we can see that anywhere on Pro, but that's why we build decentralized systems. So if you want to get the best fees, you should be doing your trading on chain. But totally understand this is the onboarding path for most people right now. And then Mr. Rich has got some killer freaking jokes. He's been on one today. But yeah, Kraken Day. On top of that, everybody was here and heard you kind of go through your quantum computing arc on the Dash space. Do you want to expand on that at all? My big question still is AES, but long story short, it sounds like all the elliptic curve algorithms that crypto uses is at risk in the next 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, no, doesn't look good.
Dang.
Yeah, there's like a coupling that you can compute. And I thought it would be like much smaller than it is.
Well, that's unfortunate, but better to know now than later. So I'll just say that, and then again, I think AES is the big one. Like AES 256, it's like over 90% of all encrypted traffic, data at rest is all encrypted using AES 256. The military uses it for most things. That's the big one. That's a systemic risk. Crypto's just at risk right now based on your current calculation, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're probably looking at 2 years.
Got it.
I mean, the tough part about it is there's no good solutions, actually.
Right. What little I know of the algorithms that are in the, I think it's the NIST standard, is that it was kind of pushed due to the threat of quantum, and it didn't go through the traditional, I guess, rigor that NIST applies to encryption algorithms.
Dude, like, come on, man. You can't trust any of that shit.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of builders that need that.
I mean,
guess,
like, there's a
certification.
specifically, like, if you look into the origin of R versus K, which
Mhm.
actually hamstrung the adoption of crypto quite significantly. Like R is a very weak curve because it reduces degrees of freedom to like get picked, and they don't really tell you why they did that. So like it feels like they like pick something maliciously because there's a backdoor.
When you say R versus K, um, help me educate the audience here. What are we talking about?
The curve.
Okay.
So like when you do elliptic curve cryptography, you have to define a curve. And so you have to pick the parameters of the curve, and like R is one choice of parameter and K is another. But when you look at how they get R, they take a degree of freedom.
I think we lost you for a second there. Are you still there? Oh no. Oh no. I think we lost Dr. K. Dang. We're gonna get him some better internet. Oh. Is he coming back? All right. Round
There's
2.
two of me.
Yeah, we're getting rid of one. There we go. The last thing we heard is when they do the R elliptic curve.
They removed the degree of freedom, and it was it's like why, and they don't explain why. They're just like because, and everybody who looks at that is like, to us. So that's why Satoshi picks K, which actually made it much harder for Bitcoin to get it to enclaves. Historically only supported R and only more recently have supported K. So yeah, I wouldn't trust NIST as far as I can throw 'em, man.
Dang. Okay. So are you I mean I haven't looked at the quantum resistant algorithms that are out there. Have you taken a look and um dove into those topics at all?
Um, sorry, say again.
The quantum resistant algorithms today. I'm going to do some research in the background here, but I don't even know what's out there. I just know that it was kind of pushed into one of them was pushed into NIST without the due rigor. Do you know anything about the ones that exist today?
I haven't actually researched them. All I know, well, so I know some of their characteristics, but I haven't like really researched them. Um, the characteristics though are they're fucking enormous and they're not well tested, and they use a lot of moon math that we don't know if it's like gonna break or not.
Right.
That would be
You
the
want
short form of it. But like I said,
I wouldn't you wouldn't just go on NIST certification alone. I got a buddy hit me up on the side who's tuned in. It says Falcon as a lattice. If you're tuning in, feel free to expand on chat. Falcon for the win. That's what Co recommends. So here's the other interesting thing that I want to talk to you about quantum on right now, Dr. K, and that's like the scalability problem, right? You know, adopting these signatures on chain eats up more storage than the traditional ones. I'm kind of the assumption that we've solved for scaling already, and so really like once you have the algorithm you need, implementing it on Quai network isn't as material as it would be implementing it in say like Bitcoin or Ethereum, which already have scaling challenges. Would you agree? Disagree?
Yeah, no, it's a whole set of scaling challenges, and that's if you can actually get it to solve too. Yeah, like I don't know how I like honestly feel about any of this at this point.
Okay. All right. Well, we gotta let that one simmer then.
It's like too fresh, man.
Heard. Okay. Totally understand. Um, about your paper that you published recently, we were kind of geeking out on that this morning and a little bit on the stream before you joined as well. I'm trying to dig up the link here so we can drop that one in chat so everybody else can go check it out. You want to tell us a little bit about what you just published?
Yeah, effectively, it's like physics unification, and it's based off one concept of distinguishability, and it's able to derive basically every known measured property in physics, and it can actually match some properties that haven't been explained. So it actually closes gaps where gaps are known to exist.
Nice. Nice. What does this mean for physics writ large, right? I know there's a lot of assumptions being made in the, well, I guess assumptions isn't the right word. There's a lot of gaps, like you said. What are some of those gaps? And if those are closed, how does that impact everyday people, I guess? Can we make a stretch there?
I mean, what's like really interesting about the thing that I did it without time or space. So all of the things that emerge are strictly geometric in nature. So if you have a question that you want to ask, it's much more easy to find a closed form solution.
Okay, so everything is becoming geometric. So space makes sense. Are we saying also time is geometric?
No, I mean space and time are derivatives of a higher order
Yeah.
object, but that higher order object doesn't have space or time. It gives rise to it.
Okay.
Right, and because of that, every piece of the thing is just a geometric consequence of the structure. So then any question you ask, you're just asking what's the geometry, which means usually you can get like a very concise solution.
Okay, we were kind of geeking out this morning. I think Jonathan was asking about a warp drive. um, I was asking you if Terrence Howard is actually correct. It sounds like he's still off
No,
his
he's
rocker.
a fucking Looney Tune dog. No,
Okay.
I don't know. I got like a physics guy from UT partially engaged, not like fully engaged, but hopefully once I like respond to his initial like pass, he'll look at it more.
Okay. Hell yeah. I mean it's a bold claim, I think. Obviously like I want to meme the heck out of it. I'm still stuck on something I landed on this morning. Basically the proof of work maxi mind the root of physics here. So I just think it's hilarious. But it's definitely bullish for Quai. If some other folks look at it and can vet it and actually wrap their heads around it too at the same time. So, hell yeah. Hell yeah. But now that Kraken is live, I imagine you're also keeping your eyes peeled on the books across, not just Kraken, but a number of other exchanges. It'll be interesting to see what arbitrage opportunities arise and where they get capitalized first.
Yeah, I mean,
Just as a side
there's
note.
still like building liquidity on Kraken. It's kind of low at the moment.
Okay.
But
Okay.
people are moving there, so like it should increase with time here. So it's yeah.
As a blockchain founder and somebody who's looked at this stuff for quite some time, like what are you actually looking for when an exchange like this comes online? What are some of the things you're keeping your patterns you're looking for? What are some of the things you're keeping your eyes peeled for? What are you hoping to see sooner rather than later, I guess?
I mean, long term, what happens is you've opened up to a new buying audience. So as that audience becomes aware of it, right, that typically leads to an increase in price. And with something like SOAP and buybacks, sort of making buybacks increase, an impulsive increase in price typically wants to sustain itself higher for quite some time. So we have like that very unique mechanism of SOAP that we can help pay for our security through sort of exploiting inefficiencies of other chains. So that begets us this nice sort of flywheel effect when you get something impulsive like a new listing. So, over the next few days, we'll see the subsidy numbers increase, and those subsidies will go to buybacks, which should cause the price to go up, which should cause us to get more subsidies. So,
And the flywheel continues.
yep.
Heck yeah. I got the SOAP dashboard up here now. This is where we can track, total revenue, 24-hour revenue. There's even a button for 7-day or weekly revenue. And then hash rates across the various algorithms, blocks earned on Ravencoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. And actual links to those blocks on the related block explorers. So a lot of Ravencoin blocks. Here's a Bitcoin Cash block, etc. It looks like over the week, Kapow hash rate and SHA hash rate is on the rise. Script is a unique beast. I'm not really sure how to interpret script right now. I know PowerPool is online officially, but what does that mean for our script hash rate, Dr. K? Can you expand on how PowerPool is working with us right now?
I mean, they're coming online, right? So they're basically directing their hash rate at Quai when it's profitable to do so, and that's adding, more hash rate to us, which is increasing the subsidies, which should increase the price.
Rock on. I know this is a little more unique just due to the extreme Dogecoin controller. So I suspect that's why our script hash rate looks much more spiky than SHA or Kapow.
Yeah, well, no, I mean that really comes from the fact that script is the controller on Doge like isn't a controller at all. So they it ends up just like instantaneously changing block from block the difficulty. So there's this incredibly impulsive like block to block variation in hash rate as profitability changes literally block to block.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Cool. Let's see here. The other thing I wanted to look at, obviously, was CoinGecko, because we don't see the history on Kraken. If I could spell, let's try not that website. When we first turned on SOAP, that virtuous flywheel really kicked into gear. What? There it is. So we turned that on December 17th, SOAP Day. We were live for that block height as well. That was a fun time. So now, over here at CoinGecko, I wonder if you can, 3 months isn't long enough. Almost long enough. So is this January? So well into, almost near the end of January is when the sell-off looks like it started happening, but it's almost 4 weeks of positive price action once SOAP launched. Yeah, obviously that's year to date here. So it's January 3rd, January 1st. Yeah. So this is just kind of demonstrating that SOAP flywheel in action here. If you guys want to learn more about SOAP, definitely check out the SOAP dashboard and dive into the docs over at docs.q.ai to understand how the merge mining actually works. Super cool system. We were explaining it a number of different ways this morning on a call with Steph. I think we're gearing up for another podcast with Stephen Wolfram, so keep your eyes peeled for that. TBD on whether or not that actually happens, but that's what we're working towards here. Some of the folks in Steph's circles understand multiple, what would you say, levels or emergent properties of what Project SOAP is. One being like an arbitrage mechanism on, would you say, hash rate or consensus, or both perhaps? Basically just taking advantage of wasted compute or inefficient consensus out there and using it for sustainable revenue for Quai Network. So here is the doc on Project SOAP. I'll drop this in chat for you guys. Any other comments on SOAP, Dr. K?
No.
Are you saying I nailed it? Am I learning something? That's inspiring. All
Sorry.
right. You got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, I'm
Richard,
just trying to respond to Prof ET.
no worries. I'm trying to drag some other team
AI
members in here
assisted
too.
review of my thing, so I just
Mr. Rich says, how do you get Tennessee college graduate off your porch? You pay for your pizza. There's no Tennessee CSI because there's no dental records and the DNA is all the same.
because they're all related.
Right.
Cousins, baby.
Matt, how do you know if a Tennessee guy has a girlfriend? There's tobacco stains on both sides of the truck. Oh, that's gross, man.
I thought there was going to be a joke about livestock in there.
No.
It would have been funnier.
They're I think that's Indiana. Yeah. Those are Indiana jokes, maybe. Anywho. Where's the rest of the team at? Big day, guys. Huge freaking unlock. I mean, first tier 1 exchange, always a big event. Oh, we got more peeps joining. There he is. Hey, Christopher, welcome to the chat. I was just saying, really big milestone, acquiring, the first tier 1 exchange to be integrated with Quai network. Just a massive seal of approval from the overall industry, just in terms of the team, the tech, the community as well. So really looking forward to where we go from here. Hope the community is just as pumped, because it's always a good time to build, but especially now, so many opportunities are going to start unlocking. But how you doing, Christopher? Thanks for joining us here. Dr. K's multitasking on the back end, trying to get his paper out to as many people as possible. Oh, we can't hear you.
Hold on, now I'm coming through.
Yeah,
doing good, man. Appreciate that. Huge, massive day. Dr. K has not stopped talking about that paper, and I don't blame him. I mean, when you solve physics, you might as well try to get it out to as many people as possible. We met with one of our friends earlier, a man named Doug, and he was telling Doug all about it. About 30 minutes of that paper, I swear to God. Doug was actually thrilled. But neither here nor there, that space was fantastic, and quite clearly you got the chance to talk about it as well there. And if you haven't checked it out, you really should. We made a post about it. Obviously, this is the main focus for today, as obviously Kraken listing happened, I think around 9-10 a.m. this morning. This is really fantastic. But I've made it a small little mission of myself to find some spaces for you, Dr. K, to talk about this paper with like-minded, equal-level individuals, because I think it is pretty fantastic. And though it is a theory, I would like people to put your theory to the test and give it the academic, scrutiny that it deserves. I think that'd be really cool. A little separate from Quai, but B, very directly related to Quai, in the sense that obviously this is by the co-founder of Quai himself. So if you haven't taken a look at it, do we have it pinned somewhere where people can easily find this?
I dropped it in chat, but I think it's definitely on the Quai network account. If you guys aren't following the Quai network account, you definitely need to.
If you're watching this right now, you definitely should, if you haven't already. It's been pretty busy though. It's been a pretty fantastic day, I will say. I know you guys are going into SOAP just a little bit, which is always my favorite subject.
Here we go. I'll bring the tweet up. Here it is, folks. One word: distinguishability. 4 axioms: identity, composition, intrinsic closure, self-metric. Leads to general relativity, quantum mechanics, standard model, and quantum field theory. No contradictions, no extra dimensions. Just plain old reality. Described in Greek that I don't understand. But bullish Quai, that's for sure. What other co-founder has mined the root of physics? Only the one that's a real proof of work, Maxi.
Very few have, that's for sure. And I don't know many. Many claim to be extremely technical, but I don't know many that have put out dissertations and theses such as this. It's quite impressive, obviously. You know, when I met you, Dr. K, I never would have guessed, but I should have not been surprised at all that someday you would solve physics.
Right. Let's see here. Appreciate you joining, Christopher. I need a quick restroom break, so I will be right back, folks.
Happy to hold down the fort. Yeah, quite fantastic. You know, thanks to everyone that joined us today. If you haven't already made an account at Kraken, please do and go take a look. Kraken has been my favorite exchange really since I hopped into the industry. The user experience is unprecedented. It's super great team. Like nothing but the best things to say about the Kraken team. They're fantastic to work with. All their questions, of course, very made a lot of sense in the end. And going back and forth with their technical teams was a pleasure. They're really nice, really astute, really good at what they do. And obviously, if anything did arise, handled pretty quickly. I would say that out of all of the exchanges, Dr. K, Kraken, without a doubt, is one of the best to work with. But this journey's been going on for quite some time. It didn't just happen overnight. In fact, I think we've been connected with them for a better part of well over a year at this point. Do you have any words to the Kraken team or anyone for Kraken that might be listening or thinking about using the Kraken exchange?
Yeah, I mean, Kraken's great, right? I think they have access in 190 countries in the world, which is pretty much everybody. USD, Euro, pairs, real bank, access. They've proven to be safe and secure for, a long number of years. They're pretty much as old as Coinbase. And they decided that Quai was worth listing on their platform, and they only do about 40 token listings in a year, and it's been actually a very few number smaller than that, I think, in the last 12 months. So being one of those tokens, is a nice endorsement.
Yeah,
especially when we're talking chains, because the number of chain integrations of the number of tokens, I think they only do. I feel like in the last year, maybe they've only done 3 or 4 chain integrations, and we're one of those. So that's definitely a point of validation.
Yeah, I think the other one was Hyperliquid. So it's definitely a good company to be in, and be around.
Yeah, I think Hyperliquid and maybe Algorand. But all top 50 cryptos plus Quai, because we should be a top 50 crypto. Just give it time.
I don't know many chains out there that are putting out the revenue numbers that we are, that are not in the top 100.
Whatever happened to your boys at fucking DeFi Llama, man? You're like, no, they're not just being bullshit artists. We started posting our revenue numbers, and they started competing with Ethereum, Solana, Base, and Hyperliquid. They were like, we can't call that revenue anymore. We're gonna say that's not revenue. That's like DeFi revenue or something.
Yeah,
not chain revenue. What the fuck?
We can open that door. Really, I think the ball is actually in our court. I think Alan has a PR that he needs to submit for them to actually get us on their charts.
No, but that's not even the right chart. It's a problem.
Oh, I know. That was a whole episode. I mean, obviously, we have our perspective. Hyperliquid's in the same boat. There's no
perspective here. This is black and white, my friend. This is right and wrong. Right? Like there's no perspective. The only perspective is they want to reclassify it so it doesn't make Ethereum look bad. Like, what are we even talking about?
I don't know what to say. It's their word.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I mean, obviously, I agree with you.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and argue with me what the meaning of is.
Precisely right.
It sounded like a ridiculous conversation. At the end of the day, to Dr. K's point, they were willing to like list us on a different chart, which didn't make sense at all, and kind of like refuted their own definitions at one point.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a hard fork to even activate it, which just shows that it was truly like at the chain level.
That's all right. They'll all realize soon enough. Chat's asking, Christopher, did you catch up with the Dash space? Any thoughts on the conversation we just had with Dash?
I am the wrong person to ask about any of these topics. At least you like. I'm not even gonna fake it. I'm not gonna pretend. Like I sit there and I listen because ultimately quantum theory is well above my head. It is not time I've spent thinking about, and I don't have any pervasive thoughts that otherwise would change the narrative. Nothing that's like grand. I thought it was interesting, and I thought it was. I mean, you will see people like push back and try to say that quantum will be a threat. But I mean, Dr. K, you quite literally know it just about better than anybody else that, I think we're very far away, very far removed from the qubits required to even
Oh, you missed it then.
be considered.
You missed it then. I mean, I tried to dig into it a little bit, but it's still too fresh for Dr. K. But like on the space, Dr. K ran some math and was like, "Oh fuck, all of crypto's at risk in the next 1 to 2 years." And then after he popped smoke, the rest of the panel was like, "Well, I hope he's figuring it out." Like he kind of left like the stove was still on.
Wait, so you figured out on? Yeah, I must have missed that part. I'm not gonna lie. I went to make some food and other things around the house, but had it running. Thought I was listening intently in the back. You ran some math, so we're screwed then. 2 years. That's all we got.
No, like realistically, yeah, you're gonna be able to break our crypto in 2 years. Yeah.
Oh boy. Well,
and the problem is there's like not a good way to replace it. So I don't know what to make of that.
I have faith that it'll come to us. I think the timing's perfect. Honestly, everything's happening at the right time for the right reason. There's a
The
reason
weird the
Dr. K.
really weird part about like quantum though is it's only interesting on so few problems, right? So few problems, and they're going to hit a limit at say thousands of logical qubits, and the only good thing you can do with that is break crypto. You can't do anything the fuck else. So it's like, what the hell, man? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. It's too fresh. It's gonna take me some time to digest this.
Heard.
what did how did everyone react to it? Is everyone now panicking? Are they panicking?
It was a great space, man. I don't think there were. So to describe the arc, first everybody was like bearish quantum, except for one guy. And then Dr. K came in, threw down like the nail in that coffin.
Just to be clear, the guy who was
immediately yanked it out.
the guy who was like for quantum, kind of a crackpot. Let's.
Yeah. Just a bunch of like ridiculous claims.
No, I heard all that. Yeah, he was definitely sounding a little. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna spray bad laundry, but yeah, no, I heard all of that. That's so I was
No,
like,
so Dr. K puts the nail in the coffin on quantum, right? And then the conversation continues, and then like out of nowhere, rips the nail out, raises quantum from the fucking dead, shoves it in everybody's face, and then bounces, and everybody's like, "Well, fuck." And then there's a conversation about can Bitcoin upgrade. I think the consensus at that point is like, no, it won't be able to upgrade, and Coinbase is gonna save fucking Bitcoin. it was an awesome conversation. I was like, more people retweet this space right now.
that'll be the day Coinbase saves Bitcoin, man.
Right. Well, I eventually brought it up, like, when there is like no throughput or ability to like transfer it, it's gonna go the way gold went. People just trade receipts of Bitcoin. So bullish for MicroStrategy, I guess. But I mean, the one question I wanted to ask, like, I don't think we can realistically expect the Bitcoin community to achieve consensus on a quantum upgrade. It's not, it's more than just adopting a new algorithm for Bitcoin. Like, they already don't have enough throughput to achieve any kind of utility. So, the upgrade to Bitcoin to be quantum resistant is probably much larger than a simple block size or a simple opcat, addition. So it's going to be crazy as soon as that, BIF gets published.
Maybe the maybe MicroStrategy in conjunction with like Google or someone else will solve it, and then they'll introduce a fork that will quote unquote solve the problem, and that will just cause a whole new saga of episodes of do we follow the fork? Maybe there's alternatives. We want to go this way. Another party wants to go another way. It is technically the largest community, without a doubt. I think Ethereum makes a little bit more noise, but Bitcoin not only has like the grounding, obviously the origination of all of blockchain tech, or well, at least crypto tech, not blockchain tech, but where that's where you will have that contention, where you have those issues where people will try to rise up, however you want to put it, to either go against or be for the institutional quantum fork. It sounds like for me, since this is brand new, I'm listening and learning about this live. I might have to do some reach outs. We need to find some quantum cryptographers to come work with us to make sure that we're set to go. 2 years is plenty of time, though, so I'm not too worried. But you say the word, Dr. K, and I'll start mustering the troops, or however you want to put that.
Yeah, I think realistically, to your point, Ethereum can upgrade because they're effectively centralized, right? Solana can upgrade because they're effectively centralized in terms of governance. Bitcoin has no real governance, and the community's much larger in terms of stakeholders and their influence on the network. So out of everything, unfortunately, it feels like Bitcoin's the most at risk and has the most to lose. That being said,
no, it's like all fucked, man.
It's all fucked. Yeah.
No, I mean, okay, so that's what it's just too fresh, guys, for me to be able to talk about it. But basically, are going to have to figure out. So what's going to end up happening is, the constraints of these systems are going to get like much worse. So let's just say we move to lattice based crypto, and all the moon math is coherent and NIST hasn't backdoored it. The problem with that is that it's going to get like way bigger in size as well as compute. So you're still going to be able to like do crypto, but the throughput of the chains is going to drop dramatically. So in some ways, you're kind of saying that's good for Quai, and that Quai has a sharded architecture, which will still allow scale under the more demanding quantum resistant topology. So in some ways, it's basically saying you have to have Quai at that point, because you're going to reduce the throughput of these systems potentially 5 to 10x, maybe.
See, that's what I wanted you to say
So
earlier.
so like
The
what'll happen
scalability
is
the problem, right?
what'll end up happening is, right, Quai, you know, a single shard, it's well optimized, maybe does 1,000 TPS, right? That might go down to 1 or 200 TPS for us. I mean, obviously we can still shard, so you can have higher throughput TPS cross shard. So that's good because we don't have that upper limit, but single chains are going to have their capacity cut dramatically. I mean, it almost makes us in a better position, to be perfectly frank.
See, that was my gut assumption. Is that only the chains that have solved for scalability are going to like actually be able to solve this problem.
Yeah, I mean that's true. It still like makes us less good,
Yeah.
right? Because the number of shards you need to achieve the throughput has increased 5 to 10x. However, nobody
Not
else
ideal.
has shards, so they're just fucked,
Yeah, not ideal.
right? So there's nothing they can do about it. I mean, what they'll do is they'll just say, to survive, we have to increase our bandwidth and compute requirements dramatically. But then there's other chains which are like super fucked.
Yeah.
Like Zcash. Oh my god. Monero.
Right.
Right. I
Well,
mean, the
on
issue
top
is
of scalability, their
I think
privacy is
Monero might
insecure.
get completely de-anonymized. And then the problem with Zcash is anything that's snark based like that. I haven't done the math, but my guess is you can forge a snark. So that means you can just print money arbitrarily. And I think you can reveal the pool entirely. So, yeah. Yeah, I was under the assumption that the bound here would be way smaller physically than it is. But
Oh,
I thought it was something you guys were saying it was like 500,000 qubits that was required. What changed? What was the difference? I thought that was something that was
no, logical qubits. So you only need 256 logical qubits to be able to do this. Right? And the ratio of qubits to logical qubits right now is, I don't know, 1,000 or something. But the issue is I thought that there was going to be a much tighter limit on the physical coupling. Right? So sort of the more you have, the more space you require, and the more likely you are to get decoherence. Right? But the level of that space it's a much bigger volume than I thought it was. Like I knew there was a volume. Like I knew it existed, but I just assumed it'd be really tiny, but apparently it's not.
right. Yeah. Well, fun.
Jim says logical is all that matters. They don't got that figured out. Also, welcome, Alan. Thanks for joining.
What's going on, guys?
Maybe you can help us wrap our mind around logical versus illogical qubits.
Yeah, the aftermath of that space.
Logical versus physical.
Logical versus physical.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean physical qubits are like the toy qubits, and so logical qubits are the ones that are actually doing the quantum work. And so I believe noisy qubits sit on top of the physical qubits, and then logical qubits derive extra quantum properties. And so the noisy qubits and the physical qubits are like interpretations of the quantum behavior. It's my understanding of it.
Got it. So, scalability becomes untenable at that point? Only chains that can scale have a shot at solving for this?
No, unrelated things. Unrelated things. Scaling and quantum are completely different.
Right, but if you can't scale today, do you have
No.
bigger problems?
Unrelated. Unrelated. You can be quantum secure at 30-minute block times. You can be quantum insecure and have a speed of Solana. Doesn't matter. Completely unrelated. Scaling has nothing to do with quantum.
Okay, that's in direct conflict with what we were just talking about with Dr. K. I think.
Tell me what scaling has to do with quantum computing, quantum mechanics, anything quantum related.
It's the signatures of the new quantum resistant algorithms that take up additional space on the chain and require additional time for computing.
I mean, I don't think the overhead there is
No,
too large.
It's bad.
I mean, how big is a quantum signature? How big is a lattice signature?
Like I said, I haven't done the full math, but my understanding is 10 to 20 times the size.
So you're doing like, yeah, I mean, you need high throughput chains, but like, I think that just limits your TPS, right?
No, it limits your TPS per chain, right?
Per chain, yeah.
So it's good in the fact that we're one of the only systems that can go multi-chain well, but I mean, it's still bad for us in that each one of our chains will have less throughput. But everybody's going to suffer that throughput hit. It's just weak and shard to get past it.
Past it, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at anywhere from 10 to 50 times larger. So it looks like Falcon is about 10 times larger than a Schnorr or a ECDSA.
Okay. All right. So check that box. The next issue was privacy. Obviously, Zcash and Monero are at risk of being completely transparent in the post-quantum world. Dr. K, you mentioned quantum's really only good at solving certain types of problems. How does cheese privacy relate in a post-quantum world? Is that a different problem?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, Schnorr is, well,
Because it's not privacy through
Schnorr is like a
encryption, right?
decomposition of ECC, right? So it's still ECC underneath.
I guess my question is, because Qi doesn't use like ring sigs or ZK to obfuscate transactions, it uses older techniques which just make chain analysis more difficult. Is that a different problem for a quantum computer compared to, breaking encryption?
Yeah, no, it's a different problem. I mean, it's still susceptible to the encryption issue.
Right.
But the privacy aspect wouldn't have the detriment that it would directly have for Monero, because basically what we're saying with Qi is we're just mixing shit up, and if you do it in the right way and you don't leave footprints, that creates enough entropy that you can't create direct attribution. What Monero does is it uses crypto to conceal participants, but if you break the crypto, like, all participants will be known and the graph will unfold.
Right. Okay.
So then you'll see like all transactional flows on Monero back to its start.
Okay. Well, I mean, that gives me some confidence. I don't know if it's misplaced, but sounds good.
Yeah, guys, we should have like a happy day. We're on Kraken. Let's fucking just not talk about this right now. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, I think that it's important because if we can distinguish like what is
No,
real
I can't handle it, man. Like, let's just not talk about it anymore. Let's move on to happier fucking subjects.
I think the short is other blockchains are going to be impacted much more than Quai Network, and we're putting together a roadmap to address that. But yeah, Kraken listing, huge, major milestone. We started talking about it when Christopher entered. We were asking you, Dr. K, what you were looking at in terms of, you know, what we should expect to see. Sounds like more liquidity is still flowing in. Shout out to the community. We got some folks in the chat, both on YouTube and on X, talking about their experiences on Kraken. Lots of people buying. Good to see it. Appreciate that. Rich wanted me, Mr. Rich, sorry, apologies. Wanted me to tell you, Alan, he has, where's the message here? He has completed his CASPA derangement syndrome classes, and he is no longer CASPA deranged.
Beautiful. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've never been a fan of punching down, so it's more so like from their perspective. I don't know if Quai is the right place to pick on. So from my perspective, Quai's the underdog here. We can punch up all we want. So CASPA, you know, you're always probably going to be hearing from Quai people poking at you. But the second that the CASPA people turn around and start dogging on us, it's like, you know, maybe whenever we're 10x the market cap.
Right. I added earlier, you know, respect anybody who's trying to scale proof of work. So CASPA's always held a place in our heart there. And it's been a pleasure working with Shai in recent past, exploring some of the topics that make Quai unique, like work shares, having conversations during the Cubic attack on Monero. I think he was working on another paper, but I lost the thread on that one. But always had.
Yeah, I mean, I respect
our
all communities, right? I think anybody working earnestly in crypto like should deserve respect. I think there's a lot of like bad actors in crypto across the board, and so if you look at the people that actually care about the things that are shared, unfortunately, like crypto is very isolated in like economic factions of what people want their economic system to do and like be right. It's very culty. So like you have to fight cults in a way and borrow ideas and share ideas and find ways to work together, because the broader mission and goal is much more important than any one project winning. It's just a matter of how you can design the right trade-off space to get the most adoption for crypto so that you can actually accomplish the vision. And so I think CASPA's done a good job in their growth, and I think that they've been able to do great things. It's just that there's various trade-offs in terms of proof of work that have to be considered, and Quai has navigated that space very delicately in a way that has enabled us to be positioned in a way that no other project is. And I think that's better than falling on your sword or sticking to certain things that hurt you in the long term for adoption. And so like even in today, I know we're going back on it again, but on a dime, Dr. K was like, all right, actually my opinion may be different on this thing because of the real world and how it influences us. And so I think our tone and our tune has changed many different times, and we're open-minded. And ultimately I'd hope that the CASPA people or whoever's in a, you know, Zcash, Monero, or whatever community, you know, Solana.
Oh, they're super fucked.
CASPA?
Yeah, dude.
Because their security budget or what?
No, because like they're already pushing like their computational limits. So if you add bandwidth and compute to them, they're gonna, you know, they'll have to drop back to 1 BPS.
Yeah, that is the trade-off for sure.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think all these changes need to take it into consideration, and sharding the L1 in the way that we did with Quai in terms of homogeneous chains that are rolled together through a hierarchy, is shown on the screen, is the best architecture for security and long-term throughput, where you have to make additional room for signatures. And so if you're looking at a 10x size and signature cost due to quantum resistance, then you're going to need a network and a chain that can accommodate it in a way that is done properly. And so I think that all of those things, whether it's quantum or not, have been carefully considered in the design of Quai. And I think that other chains just need to, sort of catch up in that regard. But again, it depends on like your currently like your kind of economic allegiance. And so you see a lot more people that are like economically just, wanting their bags to do well versus like what's the best outcome and like what makes crypto win and why are we here for crypto. And it all, again, sounds biased many different ways because like obviously we're building a project and we're advocating for it. But I think that we're advocating for people to see our frame of reference and why we've made these trade-offs and why we've made these decisions. And we're still actively developing. And so I think a lot of these risks are more so for like the projects that are just dead and don't do anything. And so like if you look at like a ETH proof of work, right? Like ETH POW, like that thing just gets hacked randomly whenever the smart contract gets hacked because there's an old version of it deployed pre-fork. And like that has no like active maintenance. But on the flip side, you have something like Quai that's like actively getting listed, actively getting developed, and is exploring that world. And so I think, you see some of those things across different protocols that just aren't caught up to speed.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. I was just thinking, Matt. Do you want to reach out to Shy? I think let me like forward you an email. Or do we have Shy's email? Can you DM that to me?
Yeah.
Or do we not use email?
You guys were using Telegram, and I think Jonathan was doing most of the engagement there.
I'm pretty sure.
I was not in that Telegram group.
Yeah, I've requested Jonathan to shoot a note.
You're going to send him the paper, aren't you, Dr. K?
What's that?
You're going to send him the paper, aren't you?
Well, Shy's published in quantum physics, so.
So the answer's definitely.
Well, I mean, that's like his whole work, right? So it's like you said, Shy's done a bunch of research for us. It's just we never used him for quantum cryptography, right? Which is like his whole thing.
Where'd you send it?
It's I don't have his email, but
what?
It's here.
He's emailed us before. Because like,
What a crazy turn of events.
Yeah, here it is.
It's been quite a journey, guys.
Hey, the building doesn't stop,
No.
We're living in our own little world of building the future of money. And so big win on the Kraken piece. I mean, it's kind of insane that no one's been able to easily buy Quai in the US without feeling like a criminal. So it's like, I got to do what? How many VPNs? With how many different IDs? Like,
I may have 1 million Quai locked in an account that I can't KYC.
Uh-oh. What I wanted to say, Alan, was, along the way, to your point, I think we've been making more friends than expected, right? Like the work we were doing with Shy, plus Monero, plus Dash. It's actually inspiring coming from, the proof of stake world over to proof of work, seeing all these projects working together, really trying to solve some of these problems. So in other random news, Crypto Rover just tweeted, President Trump said the current financial system is outdated and will soon be replaced with a state-of-the-art cryptocurrency framework under the new structure bill.
Under the market structure bill?
It says new structure bill.
It's probably market structure. Where do you see this headline?
Right here.
Unaware that behind the scenes,
See if we can hear it.
Other news, World Liberty Fi has absolutely leveraged
decades out of date, many years out of date.
to the max, and then they've offered out 20% on yield.
And money transfers.
So watch out for that one, people.
Many Americans are.
You're talking about the
that
dollar
behind the
line,
scenes, the technical.
Don't ask where the yield comes from, Alan. It's not what you're supposed to do.
My bad, guys. I shouldn't ask where the yield comes from.
So here's the tweet. I don't
If somebody's willing to pay you 20%, like World Liberty Fi or OpenAI, when they raise money, it's a super good investment.
Can you guys?
Many Americans
can you guys hear
are
this?
unaware
Yeah,
that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology. Who would have thought we would have been saying that 2 years after many Americans?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're going to use.
I mean, didn't the banks like still kill the yield thing?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Oh, no, Trump actually came out in favor of yield on stables. So he came out against the banks.
Yeah,
That I
Of course
remember.
he has USD1. They're like, it's just, where does the extra 16% yield come from? So
compounding T-bills.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I haven't been tracking Clarity. I think they're trying to get something over the line here in the next couple of weeks, but I don't know if Clarity is like one of those things where it's like everybody in the crypto industry is cheering for it, but they don't know what they're cheering for because, again, it's just one of those like boogeymen that's just like, we need to do all these things. And it turns crypto again into a massive circle jerk of like, yay, we're doing all this cool stuff, but like you're not doing any crypto, like you're not doing anything real. You're just making fake money on fake systems that are centralized. And so probably great for Circle if they get that through. And sure, stablecoins will be good for the dollar and will continue to grow and be good for T-bills, ultimately good for the US. But true crypto and everything that the cypherpunk and good is far detached at this point. I think we all know that.
We got Shikara on stream.
Oh, look at that.
What's up, Shikara? How you doing, man? Are you still low on sleep? Uh-oh. Can't hear Shikara.
Sounds like he's at the beach.
Shikara!
I think Dr. K is at the beach right now. He's like, I need to go cool off.
No, what's the... You know what I'm talking about? Shakira.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hips don't lie.
Starting to feel this right. The obsession.
Shikara was up late.
This is Perfecto.
Oh no, we scared him away.
Awesome. Scared away.
My singing got him off the call, huh?
He's like, screw that.
He's probably calling to tell us that something's actually like we need to do and address.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hey guys, this is the only way I can get your attention to get off this stupid stream that you guys are on, riffing about Shakira.
Dude, I will say this like restream thing, it is burning up my phone, man.
Yeah, it's cooking my desktop.
Whoa.
Maybe.
So wait.
Oh man, hopefully.
On Zcash, do we think all of the Zcash shielded pool stuff is impacted by quantum and that it's not resistant from a Stark level? Because Zcash has been doing pretty well, it looks like.
So the more you reliant you are on crypto, like the worse off you are.
Interesting.
So like Zcash their dependency fee is like worse because their system enforces the balance based off crypto. Our system enforces the balance based off math.
Math, yeah.
Right. So in our system, you can make arbitrary signatures, I guess, or whatnot. You could derive proof keys to make signatures with the same. With their system, you could create alternative snarks that do non-zero balance transitions.
All right, so first Shakara entered, then Jonathan.
Jonathan on.
What's up, Jonathan? Are we trying to get a hold of somebody?
No, I just wanted to say hi, guys. That's all.
What's up?
What's going on?
Glad to have you, man. Congratulations on the Kraken listing.
Yeah, no, it's super exciting. It's awesome.
Oh, nice. Almost the whole team in here. What's up, Shakara?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear.
For some reason, Chrome didn't let me unmute. It's weird. But
Well, I'm glad it's working now. I was just telling Jonathan, congratulations on the Kraken listing. Same to you, sir. Also, how are you doing on sleep, man? We know you were up late, making sure everything was good to go for today. You hanging in there?
yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Heck yeah. Good to hear.
What are we talking about?
What a champion. He's like, yeah, whatever.
I know, right?
Trying to make him seem like this big hero. He's like, come here. I'm Shakara.
Yeah, let's talk about something else already. Well, we were talking about the Kraken listing. We were talking a little bit about quantum, and then also Dr. K's new paper. I think we had an
on
idea.
The Kraken piece, I do find it interesting that Kraken has a Fed master account.
Right.
I think that's pretty cool. And I will say for Kraken, it's rather nice for them to be the first tier 1 to list Quai because I think they have a good reputation and legacy in the industry. Time to get listed aside, I think that it's going to be a good check mark for the project and a good check mark for the community because a lot of the people that are fighting about different things don't understand that we're working towards all things as fast as we can, and many things are out of our control directly. So to say that this is one of the planned things that we got done, I think kind of opens up the box for like what's next. And so definitely getting to SOAP on Bitcoin and SOAP 2.0 and all of those other pieces, LMTs, staking, borrow, lend. It's all going to be good to revisit now that a lot of this is out of the way here. So maybe interested to hear from the devs. What are you guys most excited to work on? Where's your head at?
I'm excited for our Blip update, our wallet updates, actually both of them. So Blip and Pelagus going to improve the user experience dramatically. So I think both of those are going to be pretty big.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah, having Chi in Blip, I think, has been a long-awaited feature.
And I also don't think people realize, it's going to come out like as a native app as well. So, not JavaScript, just like specifically built for iOS and Android.
Yeah, it's going to be slick. It's going to be really slick. And then having Change Hero in that as well, it's been a good advancement. Having all that actually work in the thing versus all over the place. I wonder if we can get like a crack pay. I know Christopher's there.
I think you can buy. I saw an option to buy crypto on Kraken through Apple Pay.
Let's see if I can sign in here and do it on
my
phone.
Yeah, they have fiat off-ramp. The question is really, do you have to make an account, KYC, all that stuff that would annoy people?
It was a minimal KYC for me. I did use Apple Pay, but somehow they had my social security, and I think I might have made an account long time ago. Maybe I hadn't realized it once I put in my
You can't
email.
say it like that somehow.
Yeah, somehow they had all my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
That's funny. No, yeah, they're Kraken Pay is legitimate, but yeah, it definitely requires a little bit of KYC. So if we're looking for alternatives, that's a little bit more hassle free there to go.
It didn't require, I would say, any like documentation. You know, it was just basic address and just regular stuff. So
I think it's still worth consideration. We'll probably get to the conversations as well. They're necessary to actually understand the commercials and what's required to put that inside the blip, but and just do our due diligence there.
it is a very nice app though to use.
Yeah. Yeah, way better experience on Kraken than any other centralized exchange I've tried in the past. Also,
And like the availability of them, I didn't realize that except for I think I saw 14 countries that they were not on, but every other country they, you can use it. It's pretty interesting.
yeah, I see huge accessibility unlock. Super exciting stuff, guys. I'm with Jonathan as well. The next thing, I'm so pumped for the Blip app. I think that really unlocks the power of Quai for users. You know?
Yeah, and a native on ramp also, just means that you can just download the app, put a, whatever it is, debit card, bank account, whatever you have, you can just buy Quai, right? Or you can buy Qi or USDT. I mean, all these things you can just buy, right? And I think that really makes the on ramp process a lot easier. So we'll see how easy we can make it for people. Obviously, we're gonna have to provide like several different options at the end of the day, but Kraken might be one of them. We have like a couple others that we're looking at. So, but making on ramp as easy as possible is really just the way to go here.
Hell yeah.
There was something I didn't discuss was the Tangent Pay. Has anyone used it? I saw like Steph made a video the other day.
Steph has used it. Yeah.
I think we only talked about Zebek, but that
Tangent
is
has a
also
card?
like yeah. This is a Visa card you can use.
Interesting. Is it in their app?
Yeah.
Because I didn't see that, but that's pretty interesting.
I saw it's like you have it in your Apple Pay. It's like a Visa card, Tangent Pay, and
no KYC.
Not sure about that, but it was a thing Steph made a video and they had reposted it from the Tangent Fisher account. That same video. That's how I saw. It was interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
it's in the
I'll
app.
take a look.
I'll take a look.
But we might have to publicize it a little bit if people don't know that such a thing exists.
Yeah, Steph said, it was just a swap to, I think it was USDC on Polygon. Then he was able to load up his card, his Tangent Pay card.
I like to think that you took inspiration from your classic video that we shot at 7-Eleven. It was 1-to-1.
Yeah, you're right, aren't you? What did he buy again? Did he buy milk or something like that?
He bought milk.
Dude, I love milk.
At like a 7-Eleven.
I don't know about like 7-Eleven milk, but I'll take the Whole Foods milk.
You guys want to know what's disgusting?
The
milk industry is moving towards like UHT packaging.
Straight plastic or what?
No, it's like the like shelf stable Tetra Paks.
Oh, the Tetra Paks, yeah.
So like they don't want to just do pasteurization. They want to just completely fucking nuke it and put it in Tetra Paks. So like milk is already kind of dead. It's going to just become completely dead.
What is a Tetra Pak and why is it bad?
No. The reason it's bad is because they somehow like put something in it that Like, you can keep the milk for like 6 months without
On the shelf.
in the packet. Yeah, on the shelf. It's
at room
crazy.
temperature.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Milk for 6 months?
yeah, dude.
That is not good. That is not good.
That's my point. Is that's not good.
That thing should go bad in like a day. Wow. In warm air.
Yeah. But that was like one of the big innovations I remember when I was small in India. People used to like gloat about it. Said you can keep milk now outside for so long without thinking like what goes into making such a thing. But I don't even know what they put in it. But no, that's pretty bad.
Gross. I thought the world was ending when they put that ridiculous spray on the vegetables that cause cancer, and you gotta like wash it off with soap.
Some Roundup.
I forget what it is.
Yeah,
like the
Roundup was for
cucumbers.
the weeds. Yeah,
the Roundup is pretty gnarly. People still like use Roundup. Like people are just like, I'll just go get cancer.
If you're ever in a Walmart that sells vegetables, just go pick one up. You'll feel it instantly. You can sometimes see it. It looks like wax. It's so gross.
Problem with Roundup is also like all the downstream water from where you sprayed it. It's like all like getting messed. And
Yeah,
if you have kids, getting born, it's like it's all kinds of issues.
The right way to think about our agricultural system is that we shouldn't have monocrops. If you don't have monocrops, you don't have to spray these chemicals on everything. And the other thing is it becomes more resilient to pests, but then you also should just grow the things that do well with the pests that exist in that area. So what I did when I had a garden is we'd try stuff, and if it's like, that Swiss chard is getting rocked by like whatever the fuck grasshopper or caterpillar is, but the kale isn't. Like you grow kale and not Swiss chard, right? So then you just pick like after a season what grows well without having to use pesticides.
Right.
Yeah. Rogan talks about this a lot. FYI, Steph says he had to KYC for Tangent Pay. He confesses that he drinks milk and has scanned his iris into WorldCoin's orb.
Nothing wrong with milk. You just can't have the 6 months shelf stable milk.
Right.
I drink the ultra processed milk, which has like extra protein in it. They like filter the milk to gain less fat and more protein, and I drink that milk. So I'm like basically an alien. I'm gonna turn into cyborg pretty soon.
The HGH milk. You like the protein drinks that have like straight canola.
No canola. No. It's filtered milk, right? So it's like ultra processed, ultra filtered. No canola. No. Don't worry about that. No oils.
Do you add that to your? Do you use that to mix your protein shakes? Is the extra processed? Yeah, that actually sounds tasty.
I mean, I could drink it straight because it's milk, but you could you can add whey protein and make like a really high protein shake. Yeah.
Nice. That actually sounds tasty.
Yeah, cookies and cream is always my favorite. If I was going for those whey proteins, I just eat a bunch of meat now. But if you supplement, then I highly recommend. It's this brand called First Form. So cookies and cream's a good one, but the First Form they have like a clear protein, so it's like a juice. So it's not like thick. It's not like all like powdery, like clumps up. Instead, it does clear. Really good. Highly recommend it. First Form, PHROM. Check that shit out because I actually drink that every day and I love it. No milk though. I don't use milk. I use water nowadays. I ditched the milk.
The real alpha is coconut milk, and I think we can all agree on that. So if you're not drinking your coconut milk every day, because like if you just drink enough coconut milk, like you'll just kind of like get shredded on your own. I don't have like the evidence to back that up, but like you can definitely feel like your muscles more if you just drink coconut milk.
I
don't
was
know what
laughing.
but like I think that's like the theory I have.
I can second that. I've had similar experiences. So
Like
I was actually laughing at Mutant Matt. Shows up way late. It says when Kraken.
When Kraken.
Guys, Kraken is live. Trading is happening. Liquidity is moving in. I'll pull up.
Quai's moving on up in the world.
Yep. Yeah, big milestone, y'all. Congratulations to the community. One of the most cracked communities in crypto. Look at this chart. It's on the minute. There it is. That's liquidity moving in, y'all. I haven't messed around with Pro.
Happening right now, I'd say. I think it's pretty calm. So like,
sure.
I don't think the impact is like on day one. And I think we always kind of knew that Kraken's volume was pretty limited compared to like an Asian exchange where they do a lot of wash. And so it's not necessarily the volume. It's more so just like not feeling like a criminal to buy Quai. Like this feels like valid to do.
Yeah, well said. Earlier I asked Dr. K, you know, as a blockchain founder, like what are you looking for across all the exchanges and the books when something like this happens? Do you have any thoughts, Alan?
I mean, I think exchanges, in my opinion, like don't really matter that much. I think it's a good venue. I think ultimately the goal is to disrupt exchanges and to get keys off of exchanges and coins off of exchanges to self-custody. So I think exchanges are a necessary evil. I think communities that rely solely on exchange listings to market their tokens don't have any real viable technological differentiation or real go-to-market fit for their product. I think that the exchanges have in many ways hurt our industry. And so you look at manipulation for Binance, 1010, the lack of regulation across exchanges and what gets listed. Like I said, like I'm glad Kraken is listing Quai, but I mean, again, we've been on the roadmap for a year. So like put your car on it 12 months ago would have been done in a night, right? So it's like that kind of thing where obviously they'd rather make money from listing tokens that are more so, you know, paying to get on and are short-lived versus long-term developed and broader in a sense to utility. I think that's just the name of the game. And like, I don't blame them for that, right? Because like they have to make money, right? Like they're a company. Many cases, like blockchains are hard to run as a company because they're in more cases like a public utility because they, you know, again, like with SOAP, like we've found this revenue mechanism, but before like Quai was just sort of mined and miners dumped and they're like, cool, see ya. And so, again, it just kind of depends because like also the name of the game has changed, right? Between now and 5 years ago, an exchange listing means a lot less because you have things like Hyperliquid, you have things in terms of, you know, liquidity across different venues, and more people are sort of just out of crypto entirely. So it's like if you look at the space right now, there's probably what, like 10 people listening to this, 20 people listening to this. And they're like, that's great. It's like, thank you guys for listening to Quai and like what we're trying to build, what we're trying to do. But like 4 years ago, this would probably be like 5,000 people, right? And I think like that pendulum will swing back. I think that's inevitable in many ways. And I think that's just the nature of the market right now. These things are quiet, liquidity's thin, like the broader, you know, market is, you know, not feeling the love, right? And so, you know, I got this NFT hanging on my wall, like, you know, that's like a remnant of an ancient market. And so I guess to tie it back in, it's a great milestone, but I think projects shouldn't be focused on exchanges. I think we should talk about them, show people that, hey, here's a safer way to get Quai that, again, you'll feel good about doing because it's reputable and you're not, you know, for the last year, we've been dealing with like MEXC that's like potentially like, you know, doing all sorts of things overseas and limiting people's funds and like not letting them transfer their crypto and not letting them withdraw. You have the whole like white whale saga and like James Wynn and like all that stuff. And so it's a win that like we're on Kraken and like I appreciate them working with us to get this done. But to say like exchanges are the end all be all, like I think that's like not true. And I think that the thing that we should care about is getting people to use the system. And so like when Jonathan says like I care about Blip getting done because people can use Qi and like use Quai, on their phones, like that's a win, right? And all the things that we've done to make it more accessible in terms of mining with Stratum X and SOAP and adding SHA hardware, adding script hardware, like all of that is like a real like utility win, because the fact that I have like 4 different miners that can mine Quai now, and anybody that has been mining a crypto before can now mine Quai because we've added these things, I think is a win. And so that's like the stuff that I focus on more. I think that all of the exchange stuff is good, but you kind of have to be like the hot thing on the block to like get all the attention. And then the exchanges are in it for their own personal benefit. And so, they'll list a bunch of tokens, and then more often than not, you see token listings that are down only post TGE and down only after Binance or after all those other things. And I think that's just like the state of the industry, because we're not in this like broader like alt season. We're not in this like broader Bitcoin highs. Bitcoin's not at 200K. We're just hanging out at 70. So I think that time will come again in the future. And I think that selective coins that have like made the hard decisions and have done the hard things, like Quai with Singularity Fork, with building through the bear, with getting on Kraken in the midst of a bear market, right? And finding ways to navigate, should get more of a spotlight and should get more eyes. I'm not the arbiter of the market, but I think that, we're grinding through to like make sure we're fighting for the right values in the industry, and we'll see where that gets us, right? And so that's the statement there, right?
Question, follow that up. I personally think Quai Network is primed for where the narratives are going today, mainly AI, energy, privacy. So would you feel similarly? Like, agreed, bear market, sentiments down across the board. People are, some are giving up, some are like, there's nothing new to invest in. People pivoting to AI, but for those who've been around, this is a great opportunity. More accessibility. We got massive products on the way with Blip overhaul, etc. So I think timing is actually perfect.
Yeah, I mean the only thing left is energy being money, and that's it, right? There's concerns with quantum. There's concerns with privacy. There's concerns with economics. And Quai is uniquely positioned to address all 3. And largely we've addressed the 3rd. I'd say we've done everything we can to address the 3rd in a way that is still incredibly neutral, decentralized, and censorship resistant at scale. And so these systems, go beyond like the 5 of us plus Dr. K, like talking on a stream, right? Like ideally, Quai gets to the point where we can step back and be like, it just runs, and bring in more people to the process of participating. It's a year in, a little over a year in to the chain. And so when you look at chains that are 10 years in, like Ethereum, or 10 and a half, or 15 years, a decade and a half in, like Bitcoin, they've just had that kind of Lindy effect. And I think that Quai is getting more Lindy over time, and people see it in the market and they continue to see new things. And then they're like, okay, like this has staying power. Maybe the underlying assumptions that give it staying power are more correct in ways that other systems have not explored. And so I think you're right. And I think that, we're marching in the right direction, and we're asking the right questions, and that's ultimately all you can really do. because in many cases, like we're just kind of waiting for the world to kind of see our viewpoint. And there's certain catalysts that have to happen in the world and certain turning points that like we've already kind of predicted that are kind of going to have to get there, because we can't make the world move any faster than what we've kind of seen and what we've built. So like we've built for this future. And that's just kind of like the problem with technology in many ways, right? Like there's all sorts of problems with technology that you have to sort of deal with the real kind of fuzzy parts of the interaction with technology and people and how they have to view it and see it. And so, yeah, I mean, I think we're as fired up as ever, right? You know, I think in terms of a tier 1 exchange, this is great. There's a lot to do still. And I think really like just plugging away as much as we can.
Yeah, firing on frankly all cylinders, racing to be there at the right place at the right time, creates those opportunities for those massive catalysts, right? Meanwhile, working closely with partners, making a ton of friends along the way, building a community that believes in the same mission and vision, taking in feedback constantly. Shout out to the community again. I'll never stop saying it. It's amazing how long you guys have hung in there with us through multiple test nets and everything. Building for you guys. Blip is going to be huge. You guys keep asking about Chi. This is, Kraken is a huge unlock for accessibility. So when you meet somebody that, you want to get onboarded into Chi, very soon you'll have Blip, and then they'll be able to, get online through Kraken and a number of other ramps as well. So just continuing to build for those moments. So more than just a team, the entire community can participate in those catalysts.
Yeah, well said.
Kind of my thoughts.
I mean, shipping products like crazy. I mean, just in the past 4 months, we've done 3 hard forks. We've done SOAP, so flipping the economics completely on its head. We've mined close to $4 million in buybacks here. So extremely competitive in terms of proof of work and what's happening here from the chain. And then also Stratum X. So first chain to really ship a solo mining interface that allows people to mine directly to their node, having that upstream directly into the protocol and shipping infrastructure around that completely so that people can circumvent pools. So you have chains like Bitcoin that have Foundry mining 6 selfishly mined blocks in a row and having that done in a way that is at the highest level of kind of competition for Bitcoin mining. And so those aren't the questions I think people want to ask, is like, if we are to move to these systems fully, and you referenced that video of Trump saying, we're going to put the economy on blockchain. The economy runs on blockchain, and then you have to get real careful about the adversarial conditions of who's trying to mess with you.
Yep.
I guarantee you those questions aren't being asked. They're like, cool, like we're going to take everything at face value for how this chain operates and how it runs.
Yeah, they just assume it works.
And I think that, you have a team of experts here that have looked at Quai, and they've done everything they can to have it operate in most adversarial conditions and have it operate flawlessly in that regard. And so that's like, I think the thing that people are like looking at with crypto. It's like you kind of get like 2 competing things where it's like crypto is so scary, like I'm so terrified to use it, but at the same time, like everything should run on it because it's so secure. So like take your pick, where it's like should everything run on it or should we not use it at all? And how do we get to the point where people aren't afraid to use it? Because unfortunately, like I have to tell most people, it's like self-custody is like, holding a gun, running, like, having a gun. Like, you don't know how to operate this thing, you could lose your money. And like, that's the unfortunate reality of crypto. And that's the benefit of it, right? Because like there's some words, and these words hold all your funds. And
that's a perfect analogy.
Right? Like that's powerful for people, but at the same time, it's scary. And so if you don't have the right infrastructure, wallet, OPSEC, there becomes problems with it. And so I think it's our job to kind of advocate as developers and as people in the industry to remediate those and make it better for more people to get into crypto, so that when the future comes where everything is running on crypto, it makes sense. Because there are real reasons for everything to run on crypto. Should the government's budget run on a blockchain and be published? Yes. Should we be able to track funds and see how our tax dollars are being spent? Yes. Should we be able to have reputation and identity for AI agents and ourselves and other things that require stake and validated cross voting? Yes. Should we enable permissionless markets to trade stocks, derivatives, whatever, that are actually decentralized and like hyperliquid? Yes. Like all of these things like will happen and are important, but until we get Mythos to go and smoke test and harden everything, I think we're still going to see a lot of short-term pain in terms of hacks and concerns and infrastructure takedowns. So, boom.
Oh, hell yeah.
My Quai made it to my tangent. Let's go.
Heck yeah.
Big win. I know he was waiting for this moment for a very long time, so glad we can get that over the line.
Congratulations, Mr. Rich.
The key pieces have been set for all of the flows here, and so I think that's a big win, because I mean, if you have a Tangent wallet, you have Zebic, you have Tangent Pay, you have Kraken. That's a nice loop that's closed. We have a lot of other loops to close. And we got to get back to LMTs. We got to get staking done in a way that makes sense. We have to get borrow lend done, Blip, endless of other ecosystem projects that want to be built, Quasdac, prediction market being built, energy markets. So I think, there's a lot of different directions we can go. And so this is a big milestone to ensure that we're delivering on prior promises. Symbiosis, a major, huge win, that's recent in terms of getting that done and having that for people to bridge, getting on the base. Not as much impact, I would say, so far that we're looking for, but I think that having it on base is good for other things like MoonPay and other on-ramps that we're exploring. So definitely a win on the Symbiosis side there, and having it for people that are looking for it is good. So
yeah. Well said, Alan. I'm just monitoring chat here. A lot of congratulations coming through. Steph also bought some Swedish fish with Quai via Tangent Pay.
There you go.
Jim says, when Chi circular economy? When Blip? Blip is the unlock.
Blip's going to be good.
I had a very extended conversation today about that, just so you know.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, when I say along the way, making a lot of friends, Chi seems to be the light that attracts most people. So totally understand why more people want to get their hands on that, and why, maybe curious why we're focusing on Quai so much, but I think you'll realize soon enough, once people can get access to Chi through Quai and use it natively on Blip, with, frankly, a mobile experience that I think is transcending in crypto right now, just like changing the paradigm on how you interact with crypto on mobile. So really excited for that. I know Jonathan and Shakar are as well. Shakar, you mentioned the other day you got access to the dev version, but you're like, this is the only wallet I use now. That's great.
As long as we don't devolve to shipping. Go ahead, Shakar.
No, yeah. He's right, yeah. I like the new Blip.
If Shakar likes
a lot
it,
of
it's a
new
win.
features as well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I don't think we have talked about, like app wallets and things like that that are gonna come with it.
App wallets, Chi, on ramps. You want to tell us about app wallets, Shakara?
Yeah. I mean, one of the issues with using your primary wallet in DeFi or across different apps is that you are basically your funds are at risk if there's some issue with the website, or you get hacked for whatever reason. With app wallets, you can have your own wallet that's associated with the specific website, right? So that's the unlock there, and it's all handled very seamlessly. Um, yeah.
Yeah, super excited for that. Just makes it more of a, I think somebody said more of a Web 2 experience, which
Mhm.
makes perfect sense to me. Right. It reminds me of the Starbucks app. I don't use it, but I see everybody else using it. You know, you load up your Starbucks app because you expect to spend, I don't know, $20 on coffee in the next few days.
Mhm.
So, and then you just go and you tap and you're done.
Yeah, I think app wallets, as we go back to the prior conversation of how to get the world onto crypto in a way that doesn't feel like you're at risk, is huge. Like, and it's one of the more basic things that I think Ethereum has gotten wrong in terms of UX. Like, if you go back to OG MetaMask, using OG MetaMask was like one of the worst experiences because you're like, I have no idea what I'm signing. I have no idea what this thing is. Like, I want that cool JPEG, so I'm gonna click a button. And then when you do that, your whole wallet's at risk. And crypto hasn't changed from that experience. Like, sure, people have tried to do like social auth and other wallets and other things that have abstracted where the keys are, but now you're just giving your keys to someone else, like, which defeats the point of crypto again. But app wallets are cool because it isolates all of that signing and that interaction per address, because no one's actually done the research, I would say, from a UX level to understand how crypto wallets really work, and the fact that you can derive many different addresses, not only off of one seed, but off of many different paths that is well defined in a spec. And so if you take what is a DNS name and then you apply that to a derivation on the address schemes, well, then you've completely isolated your interactions with all the apps, which is great because then now it looks like just individual wallets for people. You're like, okay, I got a X.com wallet. I got an Instagram wallet. I got a NFT marketplace wallet. I got a pay my grocer for some milk wallet, right? So all of these things can be topped up and managed from a secure vault. So now you're not at risk if you're like, okay, I signed a bad transaction. You've isolated all of that. So shipping all of that by default in Blip is going to be a huge win for usability. And it's going to act, just as seamless as any other wallet, which is the cool part because it's all taken care of under the hood.
Yeah. I'm so pumped. I'm so mad that I don't have my iPhone anymore. I have to wait for the Kotlin version of the new Blip. But
well, that'll be easy.
Yeah.
Easy switch.
It's basically Java. So the only thing I was able to successfully build on mobile was in Kotlin. I gave up on Xcode, so I think the reverse direction should definitely be easier. Speaking of building, though, Jim wants us to hire more devs to build more. Appreciate you, Jim. But I'm responding. Do you expect the TCP IP devs to also build DNS, HTTP, SMTP, SSL, Chrome, Firefox, and Twitter? Got to leave some wins for the community. No, I'm joking. FYI, we're building everything we can, but for those who are interested in building on Quai Network, everything's open source, even Entropic and Pelagus.
Hey man, if we had all this stuff built automatically and the ecosystem grew on its own, it would have happened 3 years ago.
Right.
So I think you've learned the lesson of if you want it done, you got to do it yourself in many cases. And I think that's where, in many cases, Ethereum and other ecosystems have gone wrong because how much money has been spent on grants that have turned into nothing from other ecosystems and that have just been grant farmed and cycled from devs that don't have any allegiance or loyalty to an ecosystem. And so when you're in the WAGMI times, everyone's happy and you're grant farming and you're able to go copy pasta an EVM fork whenever there's at least some moat to being a Solidity developer, that made sense. But now in the world of, hey, anyone can code and vibe code with Codex and Claude and probably make a better app than what was been able to be made, 3 years ago.
Oh, you could easily fork any of those other projects and make it better.
then there's no reason to have that whole process. And so, I mean, I think that like that grant farming process has hurt ecosystems significantly. I mean, you could probably look at endless L2s and how they have gone and had basically no retention in users. I mean, Optimism, Arbitrum is just a glorified hyperliquid bridge now. Like, tell me what's running on there. Optimism damn near winding down all the way. And so Base has like completely moved off of like OpStack. And so if you're like, and Vitalik is like in broad daylight, like criticizing the layer 2 vision. So it's like all of these things like weren't thought of in both structure and in economic rollout, because people were just like, we're going to build all these things for the point of building these things, and now we're not going to have any users. And so at least like, you know, we have fewer users here, but we don't have all the things built. So like we can go build the things now and get more users. And like now at least it's like up on that trajectory, right?
Right.
But, you know, I think that the budget conscious wouldn't say that that was like the right move. And so you talked earlier about Quai being well positioned. Well, now you have an army of Vibe coders that are like, the second they find out about Quai, they're like, I'll go try it. I'll go see that, right? I'm sure we've seen countless people where they're like, I'll go try it, go deploy something. And like, sure, we might not knight it because like we don't have to, right? You can deploy anything you want on the chain.
Yep. The community can knight you.
Yeah, exactly. The community can do it. They're like, I like this thing. As long as you don't come asking for like a ton of money, because it's like, I mean, I don't know what kind of project would come in and do that unless you know, are the next Polymarket, right? But even then, you know, Polymarket is kind of its own isolated thing from Polygon, because I think probably Polymarket's worth more than Polygon at the moment. So a lot of different incentives. So, you know, I think that from that side, there's a broader reevaluation in crypto that's happening, and there's a lot of glut and sludge to work through from those decisions. And it's a different bear market than the prior, whenever everyone thought that the fundamentals were sound. People just made bad business decisions, and the business decisions led to FTX and Celsius and, you know, all the other Terra Luna and 3AC, right? Like those were all just like market decisions. But now we're at the point where it's like we have to fundamentally revise all of these systems because they didn't get us to where we wanted to go last time. And so if they didn't get us to where we wanted to go, now we've realized that like, oh, cool, privacy matters. Maybe we should have figured that out like 4 years ago. And then like, I guess now we're figuring out quantum. And now other people are gonna be like, okay, well, we should have figured out scalability because we tried this whole L2 thing. And so, you know, I think there's a lot of other things that are going to look like that in hindsight that Quai got right, and that, you know, this team got right, that we can still also be flexible enough to improve on the things that we got wrong, and other ecosystems will have a harder time adjusting to that new reality.
Yeah, well said. I think that there's a good conversation happening in chat about this, though. I'm actually curious of other engineers' thoughts here. Shots fired in the community. I think, you know, this is valid criticism, though. Jim says Vibe coders put out trash. Calling out a few of the projects that were supposedly Vibe coded. I would say
his own project. No, that's what he said. That's what he said.
Yeah,
I'm just quoting him, but no, I mean, I think that Vibe coding is the same as anybody that would have created the thing in the first place. It's just they can get to that end result like infinitely faster. So if you were going to make a poop product, you were going to make the poop product the whole time. It's just that now you can do it faster, and you have time to maybe make it not bad now because you can build it faster. So it's like, sure, the tools used to be more crude last year, but now code is clay, and anyone that can be a sculptor can take code and build something. And if you want to spend an hour working with 3JS and making it look pretty and spending the time on design because you have that capacity to do it, and you think that that is the best next milestone to not make it look awful, then you can do that. Yep. Because everything else now probably took 10% of the time. And that's the win. And so now you're not as worried about like, oh, am I doing this like architecturally correct, depending on what the thing is? Because, you know, from our perspective, the blockchain's built and we don't have to worry about sharding a proof of work chain. Like that's done. And so now it's like, well, am I going to put a backend in Next.js or am I going to put a backend in React or, you know, backend in, you know, Angular or something? Or am I going to put it in some other framework? Or am I going to do it in Vue for the front end? Or am I going to do it in React? Or am I going to do it in some other thing? And like that, you can like put up and down in a minute and you can decide. And then so from that side, like sure, like vibe coding projects, if you don't know what you're doing, it'll turn out bad. And you still need some probably fundamental opinion. And the way I view it, like the ceiling is rising fast, but so is the floor. And so the floor is rising faster than in many cases the ceiling is. So there's more equal understanding across people. So like even, you know, Matt, like you could build something probably that would have taken you forever a couple of years ago. We tell Christopher the other day, like, okay, he's like asking us for a dashboard. I'm like, Christopher, go build the damn dashboard. And he's like, all right, cool, I'll go do it. And he builds a dashboard. It's like, you wouldn't have been able to do that like, before. No offense. But now if you take someone like Shakar and you're like, you know, leverage this tool now, it's just like infinite capacity. And so
it's a superpower.
It's a superpower. It really is. It's magic in many ways. Like it's just straight up magic. And so it's a tool and it's good to use. But at the same time, like if you don't have the architectural know-how yourself, like these things still hallucinate. These things still don't know. And if you're lazy and you're just like, do the next thing. Okay, what's next? Okay, I believe you. It's just going to go off into fairyland and give you a horrible thing. But if you actually sit in the cockpit and you're like, create this, follow this plan, get me to this end goal, then it will get you there.
Yeah. One of the things I thought of yesterday, that I, you know, I still think people are underutilizing AI for just like learning and upping their own skills, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe you're a junior dev today, but if you spend, you know, less than a week learning how to be an architect, you can actually become an architect.
Or less than a week, like solving physics.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy world.
But you know, the point is like, yes, if you are just letting the AI lead you, and you don't know what you're doing, you know, you're gonna create slop. But if you truly want to create a quality product that you're proud of, even if you're missing the experience, you can spend magnitudes less time acquiring the knowledge you need to create that product. So like I knew nothing about multisigs, like full stop. But I spent 2 weeks learning everything I could about multisigs, and then probably 5 weeks auditing, and learned 100 times more than I did in the first 2 weeks building multisigs. And because I wanted,
that you should have more than a 3 of 5.
yeah, exactly. Time locks by default, you know, all this other stuff, and leveraging the open source code that's out there to help me learn as well. You know, to our point earlier, lots and lots of opportunity for other people to take what's been created in the past and make it better. Probably make it more secure. UIs have come a really long way. You can make it prettier. It all depends on like what you want to spend the time on. The point is like the time required to get the same output today has been significantly reduced, and that includes acquiring the knowledge you need to get what you're actually chasing. So
True. Yeah, I think as we move towards more permissionless economies, everything boils down to a contract. Because one of my favorite things about the crypto world is whenever you talk to somebody, they're like, yeah, smart contracts are great and blockchain's good, but like this crypto thing, nah. What's like, hold on. You literally can't have a blockchain and you can't have smart contracts without the underlying crypto economics pinning this for coordination. So like all you're saying is if you're like, I like blockchain and smart contracts, or like I like SQL and I like doing Postgres interactions because I think that's like cool to do. So like you're right, where it's like when you ask and you learn like how to actually go through and create these things where you have to have time locks, you have to have different structures for what happens with admin keys. If you need admin keys, ideally you get to a point where contracts are secure enough where you don't need admin keys. And we can use AI, and we can use, Mythos, and we can use new advanced models, GLM. We can use Gemma 4 or 5. I think there's a new meta model that's pretty good. And then, Codex as well, where it's like, just design me this thing and create it to a point where I don't ever have to come back to it. And I think there are certain primitives and properties that have gotten to that level of adoption. I'd say Uniswap is probably one of those. That's like the most ubiquitous in terms of like, once you deploy a Uniswap, you can't really fuck with it after, and you can just use it because it's like the primitives are pretty sound and straightforward. But it'd be great if more things get to that point of the Uniswap level where they are just on the chain and you can access it with IPFS. You can access it, from a ENS domain. I think that's like maximal decentralization and stand away and walk away test. Like I think, we debate Vitalik on a lot of different ideas, and we're kind of like a little mouse in the corner that's like screaming at someone in the ivory tower. But at the same time, like I still agree with a lot of things that Ethereum has thought of, but has gotten kind of fundamentally wrong because they've detached themselves from reality. And I think that, when you look at identity, ENS, things like Uniswap, things like, these more permissionless goals and ideals, that's good, but there's certain things that have gated them from achieving it fully. And so I look forward to probably like the next 5 years where everyone is like focused on like their digital identities in ways that are more centered around Web3 ideals. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of that has to come with like the market doing well, just because of the nature of economics and crypto. But whenever that happens, everyone's going to be like Wagami again, and NFTs and like digital identity and DAOs and smart contracts and blockchain and crypto are all cool again. And that's just like the nature of cycles. So
it'll be new and improved too.
Yeah, and hopefully safer, right? Like hopefully, like the things that we talked about, things that we built, new and improved, safer, easier, better understood, less feared, more adopted. I mean, you have Morgan Stanley releasing a Bitcoin ETF fund that's had pretty good trading in the first day. So, I mean, Morgan Stanley is like probably one of the largest brokers in the US, if not the largest. So, like, that's a win. Ideally, we can speak more freely on crypto. I know we speak pretty freely already. So it's just a matter of people hear us. But, there was a time whenever we were not able to speak, relative to code as law and developing blockchains and crypto. Like if you were a shadowy supercoder, you were like, looked down on. But like, I think like code is speech, and people should be able to develop that kind of stuff. And so I think that fight is still ongoing. In different areas, depending on the project and whatnot. But I think, you look at the news, and again, going back to like the Trump post where it's like, everything's going to run on crypto. It's like, it probably will in the next probably 5 to 10 years. We're already in.
Yeah. Well said. I'm curious, Jonathan, Shakara, thoughts on vibe coding? You guys got anything to add? Any inspiration for people out there trying to get involved?
I mean, AI is good at writing smart contracts as far as we can tell, but you still have to review everything you write. If you're trying to write a dApp, that is like, it's much better at writing, I'd say like front end code, maybe back end code. Smart contracts. I mean, you can do smart contracts, right? You just have to review it. So that's the only thing. If you're not going to use open source contracts and you have to write it yourself with AI, like there's some risk there, right? Because people's money is going to live in the contract potentially. So you want to be very careful about writing contracts with AI. But it can do it. The latest Opus models are intelligent enough; they can do it. They even find bugs, right? You can literally have Opus just like scan the blockchain for contracts, and people have been doing that to exploit them. So it's very good at identifying bugs. So I would think it's pretty good at writing them as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I said, had Opus red team the freaking multi-sig for like almost 5 weeks, and it was amazing what it found, just like starting with a Gnosis safe fork. So nothing glaringly wrong with Gnosis safe, just I think there was a huge opportunity to improve the design. What about you, Shakara?
Claude announced something today about like this reviewer like architecture where you can have one model write the code and the other model review it. It's like all together it happens. So
That would
that's pretty
save me some
interesting.
time.
Yeah, apparently. So that's like the new thing that I have. But generally, it's a great tool. It's been amazing to uh, learn and not research and like spend time, and just like focus on learning new things and like build. That's been like the huge time unlock for me personally. Uh, so,
Yeah, I would
but
agree.
yeah, I mean, yeah, there are limitations, obviously. As they've kind of hit a limit, but this the potentially new models that are coming that are way bigger in size and are probably like a lot better as well. So it's gonna improve. Yeah, I mean, I think it has unlocked a lot of productivity for me personally.
I will
And
say
also, I think it's like generally for people.
Opus 4.6 is way too trigger happy. So like
Mhm.
just like it'll
Yeah.
just go off the rails. At first it was like pretty solid and structured. Now it just like wants to do everything.
Mhm.
And it's like it definitely does hallucinate a ton relative to GPT 5.4 on X high. And so
Yeah, I think it's also a lot to do with the context management. That's one of the bigger issues to get like reasonable output out of them. There are a lot of like research going on in that as well, which is actually been like a lot nicer to use with like the memory tools than like simply using it. And also like making sure to, if you have like an ad hoc question, and not to like mix it with the chat, like if you're doing something like long running and it's like specific to like the work you're doing, and if you have like some separate thought, not ask it in the same chat, then it just mixes things and like your contexts are like not correct. uh, so
Yeah, those are good
just
tips.
and also like just be conscious of the context. Now, like the if you see it compact, then it's probably like then you're not gonna get like the best outcome, depending on how your conversation has gone. Sometimes it might just be like better to start a new chat instead of continuing in the old one. Uh, so
Good tips, man. In all fairness, for those of you tuning in, it's definitely not a magic pill. You definitely get better at it the more you work with it, and there's some, there's some areas where you still need to spend a little more work to get it to do exactly what you wanted to do. One of the
mhm.
big things I learned was system prompts, right? Having a good system prompt focused on, either the language or the specific purpose of what you're trying to build. There's some good repos out there for system prompts. I use one called Agency Agents, and I've gotten a lot of value out of, like, when I'm working on an indexer, activate the backend architect. When I'm doing Solidity, activate the Solidity smart contract engineer. It's great. It was way better at finding more gas efficient ways of writing smart contracts, auditing smart contracts, etc. So it's not a magic pill. You definitely get better the more you work with it, and there's areas that you need to stretch and learn a few things in order to maximize your output. But
Also, another thing, another tip I would say is if you're like building something real, you have to make a list of things that it cannot break, like by
yeah,
just doing things. So like you have to like add that in every time, like it as part of your basically your prompt. So that should be like part of it. So like if you're like building things on top, sometimes it just breaks like the older things that it built like few days ago, and it doesn't realize it. So there's cool things that you can do like that. That helps.
Matt, we can switch topics here. I want to talk about a trend called tech decks. I don't know if you can search them on your screen.
tech decks is on X.
Yeah, you can probably find them on X.
Okay.
Tech decks. Not like the skateboard, but like the. Hold on. They're called. Are they called tech?
That took me back.
Cyber decks. Sorry, cyber decks.
A little fingerboard skateboard.
Cyber decks. Type in cyber decks.
Cyber decks. XYZ.
Apparently, no, just on X. We can talk about it. You can share it. So these are trending. They're pretty cool. So like pocket computers. No, it's just like,
oh no,
not like a certain page.
Oh, okay. Cyber decks.
Cyber decks in total. So like,
okay.
This would be cool to do if we could figure out how to build personal cyber decks, or people can just go build their own, and we put Quai nodes in them, and then you can have your own AI running in it. That would be pretty cool if we could figure out a way.
This is like
locally.
This is like a Raspberry Pi packaging, no?
Yeah, it's just Raspberry Pis.
I'm on a kick right now. This is like compute bonsai.
Yeah, basically, it's like compute bonsai. That's exactly what it is. It's freaking sweet.
I'm gonna switch up the screen a little bit so
yeah, there you go.
can...
Let's take a look at some of these.
That's kind of cool.
Dude, they're sweet. So
this
like,
one gets me because it actually has a plant in it.
Yeah, it has a little like water plant. It's literally just like miniature bonsai, like raspberry Pis. So we got to figure out how to take like an Opus 4.6 and like throw it in this thing, and like compress it and run it on a Pi. Because like that would be next level. Because that's definitely like what people are freaked out about. They're like, if the world goes to shit and I can't access AI and I'm cut off, and like, like I'm cooked. Like, how do I make fire? How do I get water? How do I put this AI thing on its
AI is like the ultimate survival tool,
Oh yeah, for sure. It'll tell you everything.
Like, is it though?
I mean, it'll get you good enough where like, how do I like?
Actually, I would rather have it than not like figure everything from scratch, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. You could like archive AI like as it exists in a somewhat robust, localized way. Creates like a very interesting sort of societal as well as epistemological record, right?
Oh, for sure.
Some Quai Pelican cases with Entropic inside.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. And you could ship like a little like nerd axe with it, where you're like, I can mine my money in like a little solar panel, right? Imagine you plug in a little like one of these things, and then Noah's gonna be like, these aren't efficient. We're just like, doesn't matter, it's fun. Right? And then you take one of these guys, you plug it into that thing. You could easily put a solo miner in a cyber deck, and you could run it all in one thing. Have a little
Yeah, that Pip-Boy one is fucking lit. That is cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I like this idea. Yeah, I might have to build one. I got a NUC. I got a Raspberry Pi. Why not?
Yeah, so I've had some friends reach out about making some, but I guess there's nothing we can really do concretely outside of like put AI and Quai on it.
Did you?
Very interesting.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No. It was like I was just thinking about like having a box, that's like completely local. It's like your sovereign, assistant basically.
Oh,
As
totally.
long as you have power,
We need to ship
you
a
can
little sword.
figure so many things out. Isn't that like some sort of a compressed form of knowledge, basically?
Totally.
Like you
Put it
just
all in
need.
the thing, and then it just runs on a Pi. And then you have like, I don't know like what model you can put on a Pi right now. I had some people asking me, they're like, what model can I put?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like maybe like a Gemma
Mhm.
4. But like the problem is if you get like a retarded one, like and you're out in the wilderness and you're like, it's gonna be like, sorry, I can't help you with that. And you're gonna be like, damn. So you're gonna have to be like prompt hacking how to survive out in the wilderness.
Imagine like a model that makes a video for you, generates a video of like doing things.
Oh yeah, you can make your own little assistant on like what's that one right there? That screen. Go to the right. Go to the next image. That one. You can make like a pixel, like almost like a Etch-a-Sketch. Imagine if you had like AI Etch-a-Sketch in your Cyberdeck, and it was controlling the Etch-a-Sketch and making images.
LLMs can do SVGs easy enough.
SVGs are cool. The SVG stuff is pretty sweet. There's a startup called, what's the SVG startup?
Sorry, what were you saying, Carl, as well?
Earth, Dr. K, you still here?
I was just saying that we got to get Alan. He was mentioning his friends. Got to tell him that Quai is live on Kraken and they can go buy it.
Yeah,
so, that was what I wanted to re-inject into the conversation.
Hey,
yeah, guys.
You got friends that are buying.
It's Kraken Day. Yeah.
Maybe it should be on all our banners, on the bottom.
Set a banner, dude.
My own Kraken.
It needs to be bigger.
We got a ticker.
More cowbell.
More cowbell.
Let's try this one. There we go. Kind of limited in this restream format, but
I kind of wish I grabbed some beer from the store so I could say that I was cracking a beer.
Kraken on Kraken Day.
All I've got is water.
Here you go, Shikara. It's got your favorite keyboard.
Mm.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
What does it have on the right? So, is that a mic? I guess mic.
Oh, this is a soldering iron.
Oh, it's a soldering iron. Oh.
Yeah, that's a soldering iron.
And it has a router? Is it a receiver?
It's like a trackpad, split keyboard, wireless. For some reason, it's got a soldering iron. Wow, I didn't realize people are geeking out. This one, it's got a holster.
This is a huge trend. This is like, I don't know, like I've been seeing it, but I've also been having like people look at it.
This is new to me. I've never seen it.
Never seen it.
There's the Pip-Boy.
That's pretty cool. We should get one that's like a Flavor Flav chain. You know what I mean? Like one of the, like we should just get something like this kind of clock, and it hangs. Yeah, see that's kind of that's pretty cool. We can put a Raspberry Pi and a Flavor Flav chain, and then we can have our AI in that, and it will be Flavor Flav. Local Flavor Flav AI on a necklace. What are those?
Sorry, I saw Kevin Mitnick and I had to stop. This guy's visualizing famous hackers.
Matt, why doesn't this restream do any X chat?
It's a good question. I do not know. It's definitely limited with its X integration.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Alan's last comments. Okay, I'm caught up.
Hey, we're currently at 650 views on this. Thread Guy is only at 3,600. So if we get a nice 6x on the viewers here, we'll be higher than Thread Guy. Where's Gainsey when you need him?
Right.
In the shelter.
Man,
he is.
I've been fighting for time to get on some of these other X spaces. I heard Gainsey might be going on some poly market show soon or something like that.
I have no idea. Every time I go to Thread Guys, he just has Claude open in the desktop, and he's like, "How do I short oil? How do I long oil? I want to do it on Hyperliquid." That's it. Everyone's just become like a derivative oil trader in the past month. That's it. That's like the only asset people have touched.
The other funny thing I think we've talked internally about, like thinking Hyperliquid is like a centralized, like decentralized exchange. That's a lot of people think that somehow.
Oh yeah, just this multi-sig. That's it.
But it's a centralized. It's not done on chain like the order book itself.
Oh yeah.
So, but people have that. So somehow they created that perception.
The word hyper. I don't know. Cool name. Cool names go a long way. Nice colors. Everything green Asian founder. If you have green colored logo.
I think they also call it HyperDex, right? That's like one of the clever marketing things they did. Yeah, HyperDex.
HyperDex.
Without being a Dex.
Yeah, no, I mean they've like completely like whenever Jelly like scam pumped and like manipulated like the HLP vaults. They're like, actually, no, we're not going to do that because I think it was OKX or who messed with it? It wasn't OKX. It was BitGet, I want to say, that like went and manipulated Jelly, and then Hyperliquid was like, no, we're not going to socialize these losses on the HLP vault. So they just like rolled it back.
Dude, you can buy these computers on carboncomputers.us. Interesting.
Oh, really?
People are building like custom carboncomputers.us. Yeah.
Oh, these are sweet. There you go. So what's it got to take to put Entropic on this thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I was like in the background kind of like tracking all the different distros people were showing off. It's like mostly Kali or Arc on top of or outside of, Ubuntu Raspberry Pi. Has anybody gotten Entropic up and running on Linux yet?
Yeah, I got Entropic on Linux.
All right, I need to
we
get that.
We can check the dev again. I think we're finally getting our SSL cert for Windows.
That's good news.
That's great news.
Yeah.
Alpha. I don't know. Is it alpha? Maybe.
It is for folks who hang out on LinkedIn. I'll say
That's true. That's true. LinkedIn is just now finding out about OpenClaw. So
right.
Win.
Yeah.
It's alpha for literally the entire world, you nerds. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, I mean the question is like what can they, even if they know about it, what can they do about it? Because most users are not like the tools are not there for them, or at least not in a.
Especially the native ones, like nothing works, it seems, for Windows.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking alpha.
I think my joke the other day is like most people are trying to figure out how to get rid of Copilot before interns fuck up their spreadsheets.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's nerdier, watching a blockchain on a live stream or being thrilled about a Windows SSL cert.
I made these guys faster. Do you like it?
The blocks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still have to tune down from the default max items, but It's looking real good. It's looking real good. I'm really kind of pushing the integration limits with my GPU and Wayland right now with the stream up in like 5 different places and this WebGL going right here. It's running smooth though. So shout out Shakara.
Gotta get you like a 5090.
I don't even know if it'll fit my chassis, man.
These things don't
upgrade.
use GPUs, I don't think. It's just pure CPU time.
It should be. If it's WebGL, let's see. I know how to test. I don't know if you guys know this trick, but I had to dive in here. Chrome : / GPU, and you can actually see
Oh, huh.
how it's working. Yeah, I went deep when I pivoted to Wayland. So WebGL is hardware accelerated, OpenGL enabled. So we should be good. Should be good. Wow, that was pretty fucking geeky, right?
Those cyberdecks are cool as hell. I think they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, the cyberdecks are cool.
Shocked at how I don't get any of that on my feed, but I get Trump crashing out on literally every single pundit instead. And I've tried so hard to separate that and get that off my feed.
And you gotta have Trump streets. There's so much alpha in them.
Oh, I do. I have like a whole nother account that's in straight politics. I've been trying to get them off my account here. Just get straight crypto news.
Did you guys see the Twitter Nikita whatever? That guy said they're not deranking like links anymore.
No, I didn't see that. Did he release the algorithm?
I don't know. He said that like a few days ago.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Oh my gosh, cyberdecks are now in my For You feed. Thank you, Alan. That's a win. I'm gonna get read up on these cyberdecks. This looks fun.
No, it doesn't
It's
look
like,
like they released the new source
it's like
code.
the smallest. I
Still
guess
not
the
out.
market would still be laptops, no? Like, what is the smallest form factor you can fit in that makes sense with like a UI and.
Here's one.
Oh, that's one. There you go.
No, but it has to be powerful enough to, right? With like.
To run an AI. That's the goal. That is freaking tiny, though.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's an older RPi.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
Pi 02, they say.
Yeah, that one doesn't have any. That's like 2 gigs of RAM.
Oh hell yeah. Sorry, we're definitely off the rails here, but starting to get some images back from the dark side of the moon. Not sure if this is real or AI, but some creepy stuff.
I thought they already passed around.
Yeah, I've been waiting for the images of the alien pyramids on the dark side of the moon.
Right.
Maybe
the dark side of the moon is where we're gonna run all of the data centers, right?
Yeah, something like that.
We're gonna put the data centers on the moon. The data centers on the moon definitely makes more sense than data centers on space, right? Like we were talking about, like heat dissipation. The refueling stations are going to be on the dark side of the moon because there's water subsurface on the moon. So we can go to the dark side of the moon, get the water from the moon, and build refueling stations for us to go to Mars on the dark side of the moon. That is what I was thinking of. But there will also likely be data centers there because there was water.
So
I think it's all over the moon.
This is
I thought it was all frozen though, no?
Yeah, it's frozen subsurface water.
Yeah.
This is probably totally fake and 100% AI, but I'm here for it.
Fireballs? Should we talk about the fireballs? I saw a fireball in Austin. That shit was crazy.
Oh, you did. You posted pics.
Yeah.
What the heck was that all about?
I mean, it didn't look like a plane. People would be like, it blurs the line on whether it was a fireball or a plane. So we'll see. I don't know. The image is kind of, it looked like a fireball. It looked like a UFO. But who knows? Who knows what's out there in the world now?
Okay, Dr. K, if you're with us, I could use some input. I can't find the older picture we used for the Vlad podcast, so I sent Vlad the polo shot. But if you don't want to use it, please let me know. FYI, folks, Dr. K should be going live with Vlad tomorrow, same time as Quai Friday. So take your pick. We'll be here as always. But if you want to see the pic, it's in your DMs.
The vibe continues. The Quai Friday streak continues.
Yeah.
Now with Kraken. Done. Check.
Right.
More soon. Let's see.
All right. My screen might be paused. Apologies. Stand by. Just coordinating some potential future moderators here, and we're back. All right. Let's see here. Let's check back in on Kraken. It's kind of quiet on Kraken right now. That's not a bad thing. Time zones are shifting. People are starting to wake up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you're expecting to see there.
No, just commentating. Generally.
We gotta build our own hype. We gotta build our own narrative. We gotta ship products.
Yep.
And I think as we said, I think we've known that Kraken has a little bit of lower volume because much of the trading, I think, happens in Asia, right? So
yeah,
trading in crypto groups that trade, it's more so the Asian exchanges.
Right. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I'll be right back.
That is a pretty sweet visualization, though, of one scalable blockchain, I will say. Got to get all the AI agents on it and using it. Has anybody seen anything on the X402 and people trying to bring that back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen it. There's the other one too, right? NPP.
I haven't seen NPP. What's that one?
That's I forget what is the payments gateway? Stripe. Yeah, Stripe. So it's their standard. So It's similar, but yeah, you can basically use your address as a, like with USDC, as a way of payment for literally anything right now.
Oh, cool.
Every single subscription, every single payment, like anything. It's pretty good. People have been building.
Yeah, I'd have to check that one out because I think that the framework's getting better is good. I had some qualms with X402, but MPP might seem interesting if it addresses some of that.
This is mainly like blockchain centric too.
Yeah, I mean, any block, it should be any chain. For sure.
I've used one of these solutions, so it seemed pretty nice.
All right. Just FYI, guys, I actually have to drop at the top of the hour, get on the road.
I'm good to wrap it up at 5 here. We could finish off with some strong thoughts on everything that we're doing. I think, as we said, huge milestone, big win for the community. Shipping doesn't stop, just one stepping stone in the journey. So we got more on the way here.
Yeah, well said. Sure. Let's pull up the screen real quick. Christopher, you got anything you want to leave us off with?
Yeah, I mean, this was a huge day for everybody. I mean, the U.S. now is fully activated when it comes to getting Quai. I think Alan said it perfectly. You don't have to feel like a criminal if you're trying to buy. It's also extremely easy now. You have to hop through like 3 different VPNs and give away your firstborn child, and do like a blood oath just to get some Quai. It's now super easy, and we're based in America, so it's been kind of an uphill battle, for the latter part of a year here when we talk to people and we pitch this, say, hey, go buy some Quai. They say, how do you do that? And you give them like 10 different methods, but none of which are just like go on website, go buy, click buy, good to go. So it's been big. We've been really excited about this. I think, Alan, you said it perfectly. We're not expecting like tremendous amounts of volumes to come through, but IRL, this unlocks a lot of potential for us. So especially if you're based in America, or you might be seeing some events from us soon. And I think when all is said and done, this is us delivering once again on a promise that we made to everybody. I'd say that in terms of the Quai team delivering on promises, we are 100% across the board. It's been pretty fantastic to be working together with a team that is able to actually execute upon that at the highest possible level. So cheers to the community. You guys asked for this. We delivered. It's been a better part of a year. Matt, you can now change your spiel. You don't have to go ahead and say we're on the roadmap. You need to make sure you actually change your spiel. Don't autopilot that.
All right.
And we're available now. And it's really exciting. Yeah, once again, for miners, if you're in America, you have an easy way to onboard. If you're just a regular, Joe like me, easy. If you're, an institutional investor, super easy. You have all the methods now available to you. And, it's been a sweet journey. So leave it there.
Hell yeah. Well said, Christopher. Shakara, any final thoughts?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. No, what said, it's amazing, right? We are a US project, and finally we have unlocked access to like majority of the world's money, basically. Now they can go and buy Quai. Anybody we talk to, and like we meet at conferences or like any events. That's been like one of the issues, getting people on chain and like use Quai and learn about Quai. So this is like the first step in that direction. So it's amazing now we can build things on top that people can actually get onboarded and use. So pretty excited. So we'll be shipping a lot of things pretty soon.
Build through the bear is the moral of the story.
Yeah, it's also a bear when all these hacks are happening like nonstop. There's so many in the past few months. Yeah, so.
Oh yeah, Yeah, fear
It's
and
funny.
greed.
It's also funny how like all these hacks hit when it's like the down markets too. Like no one seemed to be able to find hacks when the market's running.
Oh yeah.
That is
Like, yeah,
ironic.
we'll let it run a little longer. People are having fun.
Right.
We'll let people have fun.
Let them allocate a little more into this wallet that I have keys to. Well said, Trikara. Just shout out for, probably burning more midnight oil than most of us on the team. Can't appreciate you enough for all the support you provided throughout this whole thing. Thank you, sir. Dr. K, any final thoughts?
When Kraken.
A few hours ago. More than a few at this point.
Oh, I think I meant when Coinbase.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Technically already done. Just
supposed to be free, right?
There you
go.
In Binance. CZ.
No, fuck that. I'll pay CZ not to put us on Binance.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd take
man.
you up on that offer.
What's that?
I'm sure he'd take you up on that offer.
I mean, give him money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, you look at token performance on Binance, and any of the like ones that do major perps, like not super interested in using. So, especially Binance, it's a dangerous venue.
Well, heck yeah, guys. Congratulations to everybody here on this stage. Appreciate you guys joining me on this live stream. Moving off of Dash. We've just been back to back over here, and I really appreciate you guys showing up and doing what you do. Thank you to the community as well. Congratulations to the community. You guys have been waiting a long time for this. As Alan says, it's time to build. It's always shipping season, no matter what the market is. Now, officially, you can go and purchase Quai, native Quai, full native chain integration over there at Kraken. You don't have to bridge from base. You can just go get it today on Kraken. So huge unlock there, guys. Hope you check it out. Stay tuned for even more updates, guys. I think we're more bullish on Blip than anything else at this point, but Entropic as well. Major announcements coming for Entropic soon. AI is dominating the space, and Quai Network is primed and ready to play a role in all the things happening across the world. So, per usual, folks, if you're trying to get a bag, the easiest way to do so now is on Kraken. We're also traded on Mexi, Gate.io, and LBank. If you want to earn some more, you can engage with us here on X and earn some tips via kipper.money. Community is absolutely cracked on tipping each other on X. There's new posts trending every single day. If you have Kipper, you know what I'm talking about. So shout out to all of you who are using Kipper. And then finally, as always, folks, plenty of useless tokens out there. You can swap on SwapSpace, Let's Exchange, Change Hero, and on Base. Thanks to our partners at Symbiosis, we are bridged to Base, and then you can also purchase Quai on Base with CoinDisco. So plenty of opportunities for everybody. We are here pretty much day in and day out in the Discord server as well. We'll be back tomorrow with a Quai Friday, and Dr. K should be going live with Vlad. So that'll be fun. Keep your eyes peeled for all of those details. You don't want to miss any of that. And we'll see you all async in the Discord. And have a good evening, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Peace out. See y'all tomorrow.
Laters.
Later, guys. That's sick.